Chapter 1907. In 1 second she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web no pop-up window free to read. So, he knows where the 3-directional divine seal is? I don't know either. Sima Yue shook her head. Lingyu, get those people to check on the 4-directional divine seal. Okay. Wu Lingyu agreed without hesitation. It was rare for her to ask him to do something, so how could he refuse? 1. Black Shadow, do you want to go back to the underworld? She was in the palace now and shouldn't be in any danger. She didn't need them to protect her all day. Why should we go back? If we follow you, what if Anaheim sends people to harm you? Black Shadow refused. They already knew that the incident in Yangcheng was caused by Anaheim, and they also knew about the grudge between her and Sima Yue. How could they be at ease with her living under Anaheim's watch? Sima Yue saw that Huan didn't have any objections, so she didn't care about them. If they were bored, they could go outside for a walk. Anyway, the people in the palace couldn't stop them. As for Wu Lingyu, she didn't need to think about it. You would definitely follow her. I'll cultivate well from now on and try to break through to Underworld Paragon as soon as possible. Then I'll ask grandfather to tell me where my mother is. However, dreams were plentiful, but reality was harsh. She wanted to cultivate well, but she was always interrupted. The first person to come to her was Deja, who had received the news. He ran in like a gust of wind, and when he saw Sima Yue, he said excitedly, "You're finally in the capital. I heard from Di Lu and the others that you did a good job in Yangcheng. Those people deserve to end up like that." Sima Yue saw the smile on his face and laughed. "Only you think I did a good job. Didn't you hear the nickname that the outside world gave me? Female killing god Tiskegi, I'm as famous as you." "Aha, that's great. I'm the killing god and you're the female killing god. As expected of brother and sister." Deja remembered that he was stunned when he first heard this, and then he laughed. This title was not without its benefits. At the very least, no one would dare to provoke her. Yu Shiyu and the others were surprised to see Deja laughing. They were very familiar with him. In the past, when Yu Kaluo was still around, he would often come over, but they had never seen him laugh so heartily. At most, it would be different from the murderous look on his face outside. It would be much gentler. However, this side was also gone after Yu Kaluo was suppressed. He would occasionally come to the youthful palace, but every time he would have a cold face, causing the people in the youthful palace to be afraid. The general is in a good mood. It's been a long time since I've seen you smile. Shiyu and Deja had a good relationship. When she saw that he was happy, she would tease him. "Shiyu, did you become bolder when you saw that Yu was here? You even dare to make fun of me." Although Deja said this, he was not angry. The general is in a good mood today. He won't punish this servant. Shiyu was not afraid of him now. "You've only stayed here for a day, and these palace maids have been led astray by you," Deja complained to Sima Yue. "Is that so? Why do I feel like you're the one indulging them?" Sima Yue said, "However, it's all thanks to them that this place can still maintain the appearance when mother was still around. Yes, those who betrayed the youthful palace are no longer here." Deja also sighed. Sima Yue understood what he meant. Shiyu had told her before that they were not the only people in the youthful palace. It was the other people who left after Yu Kaluo was suppressed. However, those people did not get any benefits in the end. They were all killed by Deja. In his words, those people were ungrateful wretches who betrayed Yu Kaluo in the past. There was no use in keeping them. Later on, someone went to the Ghost King's place to cause trouble. The Ghost King scolded him for causing trouble. Those palace maids and guards were transferred to other palaces. They were people from other palaces. He was slapping the faces of those concubines, princesses and princes. However, in the end he did not punish him. He only gave him a beating and punished him to go into seclusion to reflect on his mistakes. To him this was no different from scratching an itch. In the past, there were still some people who would come to the youthful palace to cause trouble. They could not win against Yu Kaluo. After she left, they would cause trouble at her place. It was not a bad idea to torture her people in the past. Because of this, those who caused trouble stopped. This killing god clearly wanted to protect Yu Kaluo. Those who went against him were seeking their own deaths. "Since you're here, I can enter the palace more often in the future," Deja said. "I heard that your general's residence is very domineering. When I'm free I'll go take a look," Sima Yue said. "Alright, why don't we do it now?" Deja's eyes lit up. "Since I'm free now, how about it? But Lingyu and the rest are not here now." "Don't worry. I'm here. I won't let you be in danger," Deja said. "That's not what I meant." "Alright, let's go then." Sima Yue originally wanted to wait for Wu Lingyu to come back and ask him about the spies in the ghost realm. Since he said so, she could only agree to go out. Then let's go. Do you want to inform grandfather? Sima Yue thought that she should inform the Ghost King if she went out as soon as she arrived. He doesn't have the time to care about these small matters. The others don't have to report when they go out. Deja said, I'll bring you out and send you back when the time comes. All right. Because of Deja, she only brought Shiyu out alone. She did not even bring a single guard. Deja was very happy with her trust. He brought her out of the palace and went to the general's residence. Before they reached the general's residence, the Ghost King had already received the news. However, he did not do anything. He just waved his hand and dismissed his men. Go and watch. He ordered lightly. There was a strange movement in the air before it returned to normal. Outside the general's residence, Di Lu saw Sima Yue. He brought his men and bowed to her. He smiled and said, Princess, you're here. Everyone wants to see you. The news of what happened in Yangcheng had already spread. Now, everyone in the general's residence wanted to see her. When they heard that she was coming, everyone was very happy. Di Lu, you're back so quickly. Sima Yue thought that only the Ghost King could bring them back so quickly. Why are you still standing here? Hurry up and get in. Deja kicked Di Lu. Di Lu nimbly dodged the kick. Both of them were reflexes. It seemed like this happened often. Sima Yue saw this scene and smiled. Deja did not have a good life in the past. Fortunately, he had a group of people to accompany him. Let's go. I'll bring you to the general's residence. Everything here was earned by me. Deja smiled proudly. Sima Yue followed him in. However, before they could start looking around the general's residence, they were interrupted by someone. You bastard, look at what you've done. An old man shouted as he came in from outside. When Deja heard this voice, his face that was full of smiles just now immediately sank. Chapter 1908. In 1 second she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web quick update, no pop-up window, free to read. Sima Yue looked towards the source of the voice and saw an old man with white hair. His facial features were similar to Deja's, but his face was full of anger, as if Deja had made a big mistake. Before she could ask Deja who this person was, he ran towards Deja like the wind and punched him in the face. Deja didn't resist and took the punch head-on. The corner of his mouth cracked and blood flowed out. You killed Meng Ruji. Do you know how important the Meng family is to us? Do you know how big of a blow it is to the Di family by killing Meng Ruji? The old man said as he punched Deja a second time. But this time, Deja did not take it obediently. He moved his body and dodged it. His actions seemed to make the old man even angrier. He adjusted his body and punched Deja again. Deja dodged again. Who is this person? He even dares to hit my cousin. Sima Yue asked Di Lu. That is Master's grandfather, the third master of the Di family. The head of the Di family is the first master, the third master's brother. Di Lu explained. Sima Yue looked at Deja, who was hiding in the courtyard, and was very surprised. Didn't they say that cousin was not afraid of anyone and had a bad relationship with the family? Why is he so tolerant towards his grandfather? Now, the only person who can speak in front of master is the third master. Di Lu sighed. What happened? You have heard of master's life in the Di family. Because of his poor talent, he was always bullied and almost died a few times. It was only after the Princess of the Dark Night found out that his situation changed. Di Lu said. Sima Yue nodded. She knew about this. Deja was not talented in the past. In this world where strength was everything, it was natural that he did not have a good life. Later on, it was his mother who improved his physique and increased his talent. Therefore, the person closest to him was his mother. It was also because of this that he always wanted to save his mother. His parents don't care? Master's father never saw him. As for Master's mother, she passed away a long time ago. Otherwise, Master wouldn't have to suffer so much. Di Lu said with heartache. After all, she was still a princess. When she was around, she had to give some face to the royal family. But now that she was gone, Deja's life was like a nightmare. It is precisely because of what happened in the past that the relationship between Master and the Di family is not good. Master even ignores them. If it had not been for the princess, he might have already exterminated the Di family. But the princess said that the Master's reputation was already like this. If he exterminated his own family, the Ghost King would not agree to the royal family having such a person. At that time he would be in a lot of trouble. That was why the Di family survived until today. Di Lu continued. The Di family also knows that they did not treat Master well in the past. Therefore they rarely appear in front of Master. They are afraid that they will be killed accidentally. Third Old Master treated him very well? Not very well. When young Lord almost died he spoke up for him a few times. But it was very rare in that family. But at that time, Third Old Master did not have any real power, so he was not of much help to him. Dilu said. Cousin seems to be a ruthless person, but he is actually very loyal. Therefore he still remembers his grandfather who once spoke up for him when he was in despair. Unfortunately, someone did not cherish him. Sima Yue looked at Third Old Master D. Every move he made was ruthless. He did not care about Dija at all. Third Old Master was not like this in the past. But after all these years he always thinks that he is Master's grandfather. He used to treat Master well. Plus, Master treated him courteously, so he really thinks that he is someone important. Di Lu snorted disdainfully. It was obvious that he was very dissatisfied with Third Old Master D. Some people are just shameless. Sima Yue sighed. When Dija wanted to reply to her, he realized that she had disappeared. When he turned his head, he saw that she had appeared in front of Dija. She lifted her leg and Third Old Master D flew out in front of her. Bang! He fell onto the rockery in the courtyard, smashing it into pieces. This scene shocked everyone in the courtyard, especially Di Lu Di Dier and the others who rushed over. They looked at Sima Yue with shock and admiration. Although they had always wanted to do this, none of them had the guts. They did not expect that she would do what they wanted to do the first time she came. Dija was a little surprised as well. He saw Sima Yue turn around and smile at him, saying, I'm sorry for ruining your garden. I felt that my eyes were hurting from looking at it, so I did it myself. Who are you? How dare you hit me? Third Old Master D crawled up from the ground and pointed at Sima Yue. He even shouted at Dija, how could you just watch someone hit your grandfather? Sima Yue turned around and looked at Third Old Master D. She sneered, so what if I hit you? If you continue to mess around here, I will chop you into pieces. You. Third Old Master D was stunned when he saw her face. He even forgot to retract his finger that was pointing at her. What about me? Sima Yue knew that he recognized her face and continued, Cousin doesn't want to hit you, but that doesn't mean that I can't. I don't have a good impression of people who don't respect their elders and people who demand repayment. Or do you think that I don't have the right to touch you? What about you? Cousin has already repaid everything you did in the past. My mother saved the lives of your D family. If I am in a bad mood one day, I might just take it back. Anyway, I am now the goddess of massacre, so I don't have to worry about anything. Do you want to try? You? Dija will not agree to it. Third Old Master D looked at her face and felt that she was even scarier than Yukuluo. What does it have to do with me whether he agrees or not? I can do whatever I want, who can stop me? Sima Yue sneered, if you do anything to Cousin again, I don't mind killing you. Scram. Third Old Master D knew about what happened in Yang City and also knew what Ghost King's attitude was. He did not dare to gamble with his life against the Ghost King's beloved daughter who was known as the Goddess of Massacre. Thus, he left with his tail between his legs. Dija did not say a word from start to end. Sima Yue turned around and saw his emotionless face. She walked over and patted the back of his head. He treated you well for a while, so you don't have to remember it forever. Some people treated you well in the past, but that doesn't mean that they will treat you well now. You have repaid him so much and tolerated him for so many years. That's enough. Why do I feel like you are patting a puppy? Dija stared at her for a while before saying this. Sima Yue smiled until her eyes narrowed. How do you know how I feel? Everyone. Chapter 1909. Sima Yue looked at him, not afraid that he would be angry. Are you sure that I won't be angry with you? Dija slapped her hand away. So many subordinates were watching. Yes. She answered naturally. Although her hand was slapped away, she was not angry. She took out a handkerchief and passed it to him. Dija took the handkerchief and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. His cracked lips still hurt. I'm not actually repaying his kindness. I just don't want to forget that little bit of warmth. Dija suddenly explained. I know. Sima Yue understood his feelings. Before he met Yukuluo, his life was dark, hopeless and cold. Although Third Master D as his grandfather should have given him a good life, and his protection was something he should do, but in that environment, it became rare and precious. He did not want to forget that period of time. Although it was dark, it was still his past. Thank you. Dija was grateful that she stood up for him. He was grateful that she understood him. You don't have to thank me. But what's the matter with Meng Ruji? Sima Yue asked. Meng Ruji was Anaheim's subordinate. He was also the second in command of the Meng family. We found out that he was helping Anaheim to contact Wangya, so we killed him. To a certain extent, the D family's finances depend on the Meng family. Dija did not explain much, but Sima Yue understood what was going on. He killed Meng Ruji, so the Meng family naturally would not let it go. However, they could not do anything to Dija, so they vented their anger on the D family and restricted them financially. The D family knew about this matter. Although they were very angry with Dija, he was no longer the little boy who could be bullied by others. He was the god of death. Whoever provoked him had to be careful of their own life. Therefore, no one from the D family dared to come, except for Third Old Master D. Third Old Master D is usually fine, but he would go crazy from time to time. He was easily swayed and easily persuaded by others. He also thought that he had a say in the master's words, so this kind of thing happened. Di Lu added in a low voice. Dija glanced at him and his body immediately stiffened. He was annoyed at himself for speaking out of turn. Is the Meng family's finances very good? Sima Yue asked. Yes, it's the biggest business family in the capital. 1/3 of the capital's businesses belong to the Meng family. Dija said. Sima Yue muttered to herself. Towards the second in command of the clan, he still killed him just like that. There was no one else who could be as willful as him. Are you planning to deal with the Meng clan? She asked, but her tone was firm. That's right. Dija admitted, the Meng family has given Anaheim a lot of financial support. If we want to deal with Anaheim, we have to deal with the Meng family first. Since you want to deal with Anaheim, if there's anything I can do, you don't have to be polite with me. Sima Yue said. I won't, and I don't plan to be polite. Dija said. You don't even need to be polite. Do I need to be polite with you? Then why did you say thank you to me just now? Everyone lowered their heads and laughed when they saw that their master had been spared by her. They had never seen Dija like this before. They could see that he was very happy when he was with her. Dilu was right. Sima Yue had a special place in Dija's heart. Greetings to the princess. They came over and bowed to Sima Yue. You must be the leaders of the D family's army, right? I heard Dilu mention you. Sima Yue raised her hand and everyone stood up straight. Princess, long time no see. The ghost master was still hidden in his cloak, but those who were familiar with him could hear that there was a hint of joy in his voice. Ghost master, long time no see. How have you been? Sima Yue smiled and replied. She was quite emotional about the ghost master. When they first met, things were not good. He even wanted to place restrictions in her body, which triggered her ghost clan's blood, causing her to fall into a coma. Su Jin and Gulang knew about her body's condition and went to the lost place to find a solution for her. They were trapped for so many years. When they met again, they were in the immortal land. Because of those things, they had gone through life and death together. He was very sincere to Dija, which made him accept him. Now that they met again, they could be considered old acquaintances. Ghost Master, you're back so early. Have you already killed Meng Ruhai? Di asked. That's for sure. When has the Ghost Master ever failed? Dilu laughed and said. Not only did I kill him, but I also killed the person that the Anaheim sent to save me. The Ghost Master said. Meng Ruhai is also from the Meng clan, right? He's so strong that the Ghost Master had to do it. Sima Yue asked. Hearing their names, Meng Ruhai and Meng Ruji should be from the same generation. Why did the Ghost Master have to do it himself? Dija understood her doubts and explained, Meng Ruhai is the third in command of the Meng clan. Although he doesn't really manage the Meng clan's affairs, his strength is the highest in his generation. Even the Meng clan's patriarch can't compare to him. The reason why the Ghost Master was sent was to ensure that nothing would go wrong. It seems that Meng Ruhai's position in the Meng clan is very high. Sima Yue touched her chin. You just killed Meng Ruji and Meng Ruhai. I'm afraid that the Meng clan will come looking for you. I'm waiting for them to come looking for me. If they don't make a move, how can they create an opportunity for us? Dija said. I think that the Anaheim won't let you go on like this. She sent 2 experts to save Meng Ruhai today. If you go against her now, are you confident that you can win? 30%. Dija said. And this is including the army that I have. Is the Anaheim that strong? The Gue clan was originally very strong. These years, with the help of the Anaheim, they have developed even more power. Moreover, we suspect that they have the support of a hidden clan behind them. Dija said. Hidden clan? Sima Yue was a little surprised. There were hidden clans in the human realm, and there was nothing wrong with the ghost clan having hidden clans. However, it was a little unbelievable that these hidden clans would support the Anaheim. However, after thinking about it, it was nothing more than being driven by benefits. If there are hidden clans involved, then it will be more troublesome. She was a little worried about Deja's situation. She had experienced the power of the hidden clans in the human realm. The ones in the ghost clan would not be too weak. It would be even more troublesome to deal with them. That's why I need your help at this time. Me? You're not asking me to deal with a hidden clan alone, right? Sima Yue's mouth twitched. How is that possible? I just need you to do something small. When Deja said this, his expression was a little embarrassed. Chapter 1910. Need her help? Sima Yue stared at him and snorted. Are you doing this on purpose? Did he bring her here on purpose so that she could see all these? Do I need to do all this if I need your help? What are you thinking about? Deja patted his head and took his revenge in the same way. Sima Yue slapped his hand away and glared at him. Then why did you look so embarrassed just now? That I want you to go and find that guy Mo. Not to mention getting the Mo family to stand on our side. At least don't help Ghost Concubine anymore. Deja and Mo's relationship wasn't very good, so he felt embarrassed. Are you saying that the Mo family is Anaheim's people? Sima Yue exclaimed in disbelief. They're not really Anaheim's people, but they've helped Anaheim before. Deja said, we've received news that Anaheim's people are fighting for the Mo family. Sima Yue recalled that when she first met Mo, he also said that he wanted to kill her because of Anaheim. It was only later that she learned how to make tea that she managed to keep her life. I don't think Mo will follow Anaheim. Sima Yue said, he's not the kind of person who will submit. Isn't this just in case? Di Lu said, what if Lord Mo agrees to it? Then I'll talk to him, but I don't know where he is now. Sima Yue said, I don't know if he'll listen to me. I think so. After all, that guy cared about her so much. Then where is he? I don't know, but if he knows you're here, he'll come looking for you. Maybe he's already in the imperial capital. Then I'll leave it to you. Anyway, I know that you can find him. Sima Yue did not care about these things. But now, let's continue walking around the garden. Tell me about the current situation. Well, now that you're living in the palace, you know the current situation. It's easier to deal with things in there, or you won't be able to distinguish between friend and foe. Deja said, let's go, we'll talk as we walk. Yes. Let me tell you about the palace first. Other than Anaheim, the king has 17 concubines. Out of the 17 concubines, 10 of them followed Anaheim's lead. The rest are basically neutral, Deja said. Including my grandmother and Anaheim, isn't that 19 people? Grandfather is such a playboy. Sima Yue pursed her lips. If Wu Lingyu was like this, she would destroy his D*CK first. This is already considered few. Deja said, there are hundreds of pure soul. Alright, if there was no comparison there would be no harm. The king has hundreds of children, your mother is the youngest. Then in our generation there are close to 1,000, but most of them have been released. There are only 70 to 80 of them left in the capital. Then these people have children, but until now, none of them have been conferred the title of princess. So you're currently the youngest princess, Deja continued. Too many people, how long will that take? You should have a list, right? Just give me the list, Sima Yue said. Deja took out a list. I knew you wouldn't have the patience, I've already prepared it. Sima Yue kept the list, preparing to go back and study it carefully. As for the powers outside the palace, Sima Yue listened to Deja's explanation, and took a look around the general's residence, then went back. Deja sent her back to the youthful palace, reminded her to be careful, and to contact him if anything happened, then left the palace. Little Princess, Master Wu and the others have returned. The palace maid bowed. Got it. Sima Yue went directly to the side hall where Wu Lingyu and Black Shadow were. When she went over, Black Shadow and Huan were playing chess in the garden, and Wu Lingyu was deducing something in the corridor. Seeing her come in, the three of them looked over. How's the general's residence? It's quite big. Sima Yue nodded at them, then came to Wu Lingyu's side saying, have you told them everything? Once they find the whereabouts of the 4 cardinal deity seal, they will tell me. Wu Lingyu nodded. What are you deducing? I went out and found an array by chance, but it's incomplete. I'm trying to see if I can deduce the complete array, Wu Lingyu said. You came back just in time, let's take a look together. Okay, Sima Yue looked at the incomplete array on the ground, her eyes shining. This array is a killing array? That's right, it's one of the top 10 ancient arrays, Wu Lingyu said. Heavens, how did you get this? Are there any other arrays? Sima Yue was excited, looking at the incomplete array on the ground. She almost pounced on it. Are you talking about the other ancient arrays? Wu Lingyu saw her looking at him expectantly, shook his head and said, there's only one. Alright, one then, it's better than none, Sima Yue said. Let's deduce this array first. Okay. Wu Lingyu liked her attitude, cherishing what she had, and not forcing what she didn't have. Where did you get this formation from? Are there any hints? Sima Yue asked. No, they got it by accident. They only have these pieces of paper. Wu Lingyu handed her the 2 pieces of paper that were placed at the side. Sima Yue looked at the yellowed paper. Each piece of paper had an incomplete drawing. Even if they were put together, they wouldn't be able to piece together a complete array. They would only be able to piece together what Wu Lingyu drew, but there was still a lot missing in the middle. Sima Yue looked at the drawings and knew it was useless. She still had to deduce it herself, so she put down the drawings and began to study it with Wu Lingyu. During this period of time, no one from the palace came to disturb her. She and Wu Lingyu studied together and made some progress, but it was still very difficult to restore the entire array. Shiyu came in from outside, bowed to Sima Yue and said, Little princess, His Highness Yu Hao is here. Wow. Sima Yue blinked. Who is that? It's His Highness Yu Du's posthumous child, Shiyu replied. Yu Du's posthumous child? It seems like he came with ill intentions. Sima Yue stood up and clapped her hands. Only then did she notice the injury on Shiyu's face, and her face darkened. He hit you? Yes. Shiyu lowered her head. When His Highness came, this servant said that little princess was busy. He came to my palace and hit my people. Is he bullying me because there's no one in my palace? Sima Yue remembered that those who stayed were all people who served her mother. She usually didn't beat or scold them. This Yu Hao came to her palace and hit her people. He didn't put her in his eyes at all. She sneered. Shiyu, let's go see this little highness. I'll go with you. Wu Lingyu stood up. There's no need. What kind of waves can a mere Yu Hao cause in my palace? Sima Yue walked out with Shiyu after speaking. Chapter 1911. Sima Yue brought Shiyu to the main hall. Before they even got close, they heard painful groans coming from inside. Tell me, is that bitch Sima Yue hiding somewhere? Where did he hide? This highness will give you one more chance. Speak, where is that little slut? Wu Hao sat on the chair and leisurely looked at the people in the room. Fei Nong stepped on Yang Hui's body and exerted force. Yang Hui, who was lying on the ground, spat out a mouthful of blood. I advise you to hurry up and say it while His Highness is in a good mood. Otherwise, you'll lose your little life, Mo Lu said with a chuckle. Little princess. Yang Hui? Shiyu exclaimed when she saw Yang Hui being stepped on and the room full of injured people. She immediately covered her mouth. However, she still attracted the attention of everyone in the room. Mo Lu looked over and was about to grab her when a figure suddenly floated in. She was so fast that they couldn't see her clearly. By the time she stopped, Fei Nong had already been thrown out. He slammed into the wall and bounced to the ground. Sima Yue stood beside Yang Hui. She waved her hand and said in disdain, such thick skin. Shiyu came in from outside and helped Yang Hui up from the ground. The rest of the people in the palace supported each other and bowed to Sima Yue. Little princess. Shiyu, take them down and treat their wounds. Sima Yue ordered. But little princess, we don't need you here. Sima Yue said calmly. Shiyu looked at the severely injured Yang Hui and handed him over to the palace maids to help him down. She then stood behind Sima Yue. You're Sima Yue? Wu Hao stood up from his chair. You look just like your coquettish mother. Pa. Before the crowd could see clearly, Sima Yue had returned to her original position while a clear palm print appeared on Wu Hao's face. You be asterisk, how dare you hit me? Wu Hao covered his face with his hands. He was completely stunned. Your Highness. Doom and the others were stunned as well. In the entire world of spirits and souls, even a sneeze from the little highness would cause a huge uproar. He had never had a small wound since he was young, but now he was slapped by Sima Yue. If the Anaheim knew about this, they would be punished as well. How dare you? Sanji bellowed and attacked Sima Yue. Sima Yue dodged and grabbed Sanji's hand with her right hand. Sanji could not move at all. I don't get it. As Anaheim's precious baby, why would she let people like you be her personal bodyguards? Is she so sure that no one would dare to touch you? She exerted some strength and threw Sanji to the ground, causing cracks to appear on the marble floor. Sanji. When Wei Lu and Fei Nong saw Sanji being subdued so easily, they panicked and attacked Sima Yue at the same time. Be careful, little princess. When Xiu saw Wei Lu and Fei Nong attacking, she stepped in front of Sima Yue and condensed her spiritual power to block their attacks. Although Xiu's strength was not weak, it was still difficult for her to deal with two people. However, when she remembered that Sima Yue was behind her, she forced herself not to retreat and endured the attacks of the two people. Ugh! She felt a burning pain in her internal organs, but she couldn't move away, nor could she retreat. Just when she felt that she could not take it anymore, a hand was placed on her shoulder. That hand was clearly so soft. It was clearly just a light touch on her shoulder, but she felt an endless amount of strength. Little princess, Sima Yue used the strength of the hand on her shoulder to leap and somersaulted over Xiu. She kicked Wei Lu and Fei Nong, sending them flying. The two flew out of the door and landed in the courtyard. The guards who were guarding outside ran in and surrounded the entire courtyard. Go to the side and rest, Sima Yue said to Xiu. Little princess. Xiu saw that the guards were Yu Hao's men and was very worried. Don't worry, this is where mother used to live. I will not let anyone destroy this place, Sima Yue said and looked at Yu Hao. Do you want to go out by yourself or do you want me to throw you out? Sima Yue, don't be too arrogant. This is the palace, not your human world, Yu Hao shouted. I know. That's why I'm already restraining myself, Sima Yue said, but it's obvious that you don't think so. That's why you came here to beat up my men and destroy my house. What, are you still standing there without moving? Looks like I have to do it myself. As soon as she finished speaking, she disappeared from where she stood and teleported to Wu Hao's side. Before he could react, she grabbed him by his clothes and threw him out of the room. Then she went to Sanji's side and kicked him into the courtyard. The guards outside saw that Wu Hao was thrown out and quickly went to catch him. When they saw Sima Yue coming out, they surrounded her. How dare you beat up Little Highness, you don't want to live anymore. One of the guards shouted at Sima Yue, as Little Highness's guards, we will arrest you and bring you to see the Ghost Queen. I am his sister, I beat him up because I'm of the same generation. You are guards and I am the princess, if you dare to touch me, you will be offending your superiors. Sima Yue sneered, are you sure you want to try? When she said that, the guards were shaken for a moment. But when they thought of the way Anaheim punished people, they shuddered. The last time Little Highness sneaked out of the palace to play, everyone in the palace was executed. This time Little Highness was injured under their protection. Would the Anaheim let them go? The answer was definitely no. Rather than being exterminated by the Anaheim, they would rather die in battle now. Your Highness, I'm sorry. The guard then attacked Sima Yue. Sima Yue teleported out of their encirclement, causing them to lose their target. When they attacked again, she disappeared from her original position, but this time she appeared on the roof. Little B***, do you think you can hide from us? Go and catch her. Dead or alive. Wu Hao kicked the guard's butt and ordered them to chase after her. I advise you to stay down there and not move. Sima Yue stood on the roof. If I were you, I would find a place to hide. Aha, do you think they are idiots? You want them to hide just because you scared them? Don't think that they can. What are you doing? Before Wu Hao could finish his sentence, he felt a tribulation cloud gathering above his head. He was so frightened that his voice broke. Chapter 1912. I'll remember it in 1 second. Read book web no pop-up windows free to read. The tribulation cloud was slowly gathering above the palace. Compared to the one outside Yangqing City, it was much milder this time. Even so, the people in the palace were scared to death. The people in the imperial capital were shocked. What's going on? Why is there a tribulation cloud? The people in the imperial capital looked at the tribulation cloud in fear. They were afraid that it would come from above the palace. The people around the palace were so scared that their legs turned to jelly. Someone was going through a tribulation cloud. Would they be considered as one of them? Quick! Get out of here! Many people were shouting and running away. They were afraid that they would be treated as one of the tribulation cloud and struck by the tribulation cloud. In the palace maids, guards, masters and young masters all ran out. When they saw the center of the tribulation cloud, the timid ones fainted. What's going on? Why is there a tribulation cloud? Look at that location. It seems to be the youthful palace. Youthful palace? Isn't that the princess who just came back? That's Sima Yue. Why did she cause such a big commotion when she came back? The king and queen are going over. Should we go and take a look? Let's go. I want to see what Sima Yue wants to do. Sima Yue stood on the roof and looked at the panicked people below her expressionlessly. Because their lives were in danger, many people gathered here. When they saw her, they shouted, "What are you doing?" Sima Yue looked at the person who spoke. It was a concubine from some palace. She was not the person she was waiting for, hence she ignored her. The queen is here. Someone shouted, and the surrounding people opened up a path for Ghost Concubine to walk from the back to the front of the crowd. Sima Yue looked at Anaheim. It was the first time they met, but they had fought many times in secret. They looked at each other with killing intent. Sima Yue, what are you doing? Do you want to destroy the entire palace as soon as you come back? Anaheim scolded. How am I trying to destroy the palace? I'm just trying to protect myself. Sima Yue shrugged. Someone wants to kill me. I'm weak and have no foundation in the palace, so I can only use this method to protect myself. Nonsense. You just came to the palace, who would kill you? Anaheim shouted. Although she really wanted to kill this little B*T, she still had to put on an act. Why are there no more? Shiyu, bring her out for the concubines to have a look. After Sima Yue finished speaking, Shiyu led the palace maids and guards out of Youthful Palace. Each of them had injuries on their faces and some of them were seriously injured. Seeing that Anaheim wanted to speak, she spoke first. These people are all from my palace. You won't say that they were injured by me and use this as an excuse to trigger the thunder punishment, right? I'm not that bored. Anaheim originally wanted to say this, but since Sima Yue said it first, she couldn't say it. Who wants to kill you? Tell me, I'll help you. Hurry up and stop the lightning tribulation. She saw the innocent look on Sima Yue's face and wished she could go up and ruin her face. I'm afraid that you won't do it, Queen. Sima Yue snorted. The palace is a place with order. If someone really comes to make trouble for you, I, as the queen of the harem, will naturally uphold justice for you. Anaheim said. Thank you, Queen. Sima Yue bowed to Anaheim and said loudly, it's no use hiding in the house. The queen is here, you can't bully me anymore. Everyone looked at the courtyard. After a minute, a few people came out first. When she saw the guards, Anaheim's heart tightened. Imperial Grandmother, save me. Yu Hao saw that the guards who went out first were fine and ran out, shouting at Anaheim. How? Anaheim saw Yu Hao and called out with heartache, why are you here? Imperial Grandmother, save me. Yu Hao was scared silly by the thunder punishment. When he saw Anaheim, he could only shout this. Anaheim waved her hand and Yu Hao flew to her side. She stared at Sima Yue and shouted, what did you do to him? See, I told you. It's useless to tell you. Sima Yue said with grievance, what can I do to him? I was in the side chamber and as soon as he came, he kept beating the people in my palace. You saw what happened to the people in my palace. He didn't have any injuries on his body. Everyone knew Yu Hao's character. Sima Yue killed his father. He must hate her to death. When he knew that she was living in the palace, how could he not find trouble with her? Moreover, with Anaheim's love, even if he found trouble with her, who would dare to stand up for her? She could only suffer in silence. She didn't expect that she would use such a method to cause trouble. This time, even if Anaheim wanted to protect Yu Hao, she couldn't. Under the eyes of everyone and endangering everyone's safety, unless she didn't want to be the queen, she could only punish Yu Hao. When Anaheim saw her grandson frightened to this extent, her heart ached. She looked at Sima Yue with a murderous gaze. Men, lock the little highness in the dark palace. Anaheim ordered. Immediately, someone came up to take Yu Hao away. Imperial Grandmother, I don't want to go to the dark palace. Yu Hao grabbed Sima Yue's hand. Imperial Grandmother, you're so powerful. You should just kill that little slut. Nonsense. Anaheim flung Yu Hao's hand away and shouted, take the little highness away. Yu Hao wanted to say something, but when he saw the Ghost King suddenly appear beside Anaheim, he didn't dare to say anything and obediently followed. Before he left, he even looked at Sima Yue and used his lips to say, just you wait. Sima Yue didn't even want to look at him. If it wasn't to avoid trouble, she wouldn't even bother with this kind of person. Alright, the person has been punished. Can you stop this now? Anaheim gritted her teeth in hatred. Her precious baby was punished because of this little bastard. She really wanted to tear her apart immediately. Is sending him to the Dark Palace punishment? Sima Yue looked at her in confusion. The Dark Palace is where the palace punishes people. It's extremely cold inside and you can't use spiritual energy to resist it. You will feel hungry like a normal person. There's also an illusion array inside. If you get hurt in the illusion array, you will also get hurt. However, this depends on your luck. The Ghost King explained. His tone was calm. He wasn't angry, nor was he afraid of the lightning tribulation. He won't come out by himself, right? Sima Yue doubted Anaheim's credibility. Once you enter, you won't be able to come out before the stipulated time. The Ghost King explained, Yuhao's time is 3 days. Rumble, the rolling tribulation clouds reminded everyone of its existence. Let's stop this first. The Ghost King said. That. Sima Yue touched her nose embarrassedly. Seeing her like this, everyone had a bad feeling. Chapter 1913. I'll remember it in 1 second. Read book web quick update, no pop-up window, free to read. Sure enough, the words she said made Anaheim so angry that she almost vomited blood. That, I'm not going through a tribulation, so it won't involve everyone like it did outside Yangcheng. However, Yu Hao has already been counted as one of the people going through the tribulation. After saying that, she even smiled apologetically at Anaheim. Wow, what? Anaheim was so angry that she trembled. She had already dragged Yu Hao through the tribulation? Queen, don't be angry. I'm just trying to protect myself. Don't worry, I'm thinking of staying in the palace so the tribulation this time won't be too strong. As long as you're an underworld emperor or above, you won't die. The more Sima Yue explained, the paler everyone's faces became. Just as she was speaking, a bolt of tribulation lightning struck down from the sky, and it happened to be in the direction of the Dark Palace. Anaheim didn't even have time to curse before she disappeared from her spot. Everyone present knew what she was going to do. All these years, Yu Hao's heart wasn't even on cultivation, so how could he be an underworld emperor? If the tribulation lightning struck down, would he even have a chance to survive? However, they also knew that the tribulation lightning had to strike someone. Since Yu Hao couldn't take it, someone had to take his place. However, in such an emergency, there weren't any guards in the Dark Palace, so the tribulation lightning would naturally strike Anaheim. Moreover, she had gone to the Dark Palace so she could only come out after staying in there for 3 days with Yu Hao. Being struck by lightning and injured and having to stay in there for 3 days, they could imagine how angry Anaheim would be. Looking at the apologetic Sima Yue, they didn't think that this was a coincidence. Seeing that the tribulation lightning was about to strike, she flew into the sky and caught it in midair, preventing it from landing on the palace. With the palace's protective array, the people in the palace weren't hurt. However, seeing the tribulation lightning explode above their heads, the fear in their hearts still lingered for a long time. Moreover, this was the small lightning tribulation that she had mentioned. If it was big, they decided to stay as far away from Sima Yue as possible in the future. They were determined not to find trouble with Sima Yue. What if she was in a bad mood or decided to go through a tribulation for fun? They didn't have the strength to play with her. Sima Yue was in the air. Seeing the fear on everyone's faces, the corners of her mouth curled into a smile. When Anaheim comes out, those people won't find trouble with me anymore. When she entered the palace, she knew that someone would come to find trouble with her. No matter who it was, she planned to make a scene like this. She had to give those people a warning. Otherwise, she wouldn't have the time and energy to deal with them if they came looking for trouble every few days. However, she didn't expect that the first person to cause trouble for her would be Yu Hao. This was an unexpected surprise. From the moment she knew that he had come to the youthful palace, she had started to plan. If she did not peel off a layer of skin from Anaheim, she would not be called Sima Yue. Why do I feel that the lightning tribulation is more powerful in the Dark Palace? Instead, it's lighter in Yue's palace? A concubine voiced out her doubts. That seems to be the case. The lightning tribulation over there seems to be more and it seems to be thicker. This discovery made everyone's mouth twitch. How was this Sima Yue going through a tribulation? She was simply tricking others. Moreover, how did the tribulation cloud know what she meant? It actually helped her to trick others. This was simply unbelievable. Although it was a small tribulation, it still took a while before it ended. After the tribulation cloud left, Sima Yue came back from the sky. Her clothes were not even messed up. She didn't look like she was struck by lightning at all. She looked like she went up to play. Indeed, she was a monster. As a member of the Ghost Clan, she wasn't afraid of lightning. Have you had enough fun? The Ghost King looked at her and said in a pampering tone. The concubines and princes and princesses looked at each other. The Ghost King's attitude obviously showed that he knew what she was thinking. However, he didn't intend to punish her. He really pampered her like how he pampered her mother. Thinking of her mother, everyone had different thoughts. Sima Yue pouted. I wasn't playing. I was really scared at that time. Don't play with the palace in the future. The Ghost King didn't believe her words and left after reminding her. Seeing that he had left, the people who were watching the show also left. They had to go back and prepare. After 3 days, Anaheim would come out. Who knew which one of them she would vent her anger on? Sima Yue didn't care who Anaheim came out to find trouble with. In any case, she wouldn't dare to provoke her at this time. She could have some peace here for a while. Thinking of this, her mood improved. She returned to the ground and Shiyu and the rest surrounded her. Little princess, are you all right? I'm fine. This level of lightning tribulation is just for fun. Sima Yue said with a smile. Didn't you just say that it wasn't for fun? Little princess, you're so awesome. You're actually not afraid of the lightning tribulation. You'll get used to it. Do you want to try it? Sima Yue looked at them with sincerity. No. Everyone ran away in an instant. They didn't have her strange body that could even resist the lightning tribulation. If the lightning tribulation struck them today, they would be half dead. Don't be afraid. It's very painful at the beginning, but there will be benefits later on. Sima Yue said. Everyone shook their heads like a rattle drum. Little princess, don't tease us. How can we compare to you? Shiyu said with a smile. Then she was a little worried. This time, Anaheim suffered a big setback. I don't know how she will deal with little princess in the future. Even if this incident didn't happen, she still wouldn't let me off. Sima Yue said. But after this incident, she won't dare to do it openly. As long as I don't go out, she can't do anything to me. That's true. Then little princess should stay in the palace less in the future. Anyway, they were already fighting to the death. Even if this incident didn't happen, Anaheim didn't intend to let her go. Since that was the case, why should she worry about offending her? It was better to have fun like today and think about the future later. Don't worry, I have my own plans. She took out some pills. Give this to everyone and then go back to heal. There's nothing much to do in the palace anyway. After saying that, she went to the side hall and prepared to continue studying the ancient array. Black Shadow and Huan saw that she was still fine and ignored her. They continued to play the game from before. The game had been going on for so many days and they still hadn't finished. She didn't know if they were playing chess or just killing time. Is it fun? Wu Lingyu looked at her with a smile. It's all right. Actually, I want to see how she'll look like when she comes out in 3 days. But I'm afraid that I'll get beaten up if I gloat, so I'll keep a low profile. Wasn't it too late to keep a low profile now? Chapter 1914. In 1 second she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book Webno pop-up window free to read. When Deja heard the commotion in the palace, he wanted to rush into the palace to protect Sima Yue. However, he was stopped by Di. Di said, Master, Princess Yue can handle it herself. Deja looked up and saw the tribulation clouds gathering in the sky. He suddenly laughed. This girl is not someone who will be taken advantage of. Once this matter is made known, no one will dare to provoke her in the future. The Ghost Master saw the tribulation clouds and felt that it was funny. Her way of fighting back was too funny. Pay close attention to the situation in the palace. Knowing that Sima Yue would not be taken advantage of, Deja was relieved. After instructing people to pay close attention to the situation in the palace, he went to handle other matters. When the palace spread the news, Deja laughed happily. Well done. We fought with Anaheim for so long, but we were not able to hurt her at all. The moment she entered the palace, she made Anaheim lose a layer of skin. Ah, not bad. Not bad. Princess is so powerful. The D family army was stunned. She was much more powerful than them. However, Master, Princess injured Anaheim and has to stay in the Dark Palace for 3 days. Will she take revenge on Princess when she comes out? Di Lu was worried about Sima Yue's safety. Don't worry. With grandfather around and this matter being blown up, she will not dare to touch Yue for the time being. Unless she wants to attract a real tribulation. Deja said, this tribulation is really good stuff. I saw how badly she was struck, but now I realize that it is quite useful. Did you guys record what happened in Yangqing? We recorded it. Di Lu said, at that time it was Di Wu who suggested it. He said that he could show it to everyone when he comes back. Then make a copy of this and spread it out. Let everyone see what happened in Yangqing with their own eyes. Let them see what a real tribulation is. Yes, Master. Show me the recording stone first. You bastards, why didn't you show it to me first? I was so excited to see the princess when I came back that I forgot about it. Di Lu saw Deja getting angry and quickly ran away. I will go and get the shadow stone from Di Wu. Recently, the people in the imperial capital had a kind of heartfelt fear towards the thunder tribulation. In the past, they felt that the lightning tribulation was far away from them. Now they felt that it was very close. 2 days ago, he had just witnessed a small lightning tribulation. Who would have thought that news of the incident in Yang City would spread in just 2 days? The lightning that filled the sky and that terrifying aura made their hearts tremble even though they were separated by time and space. Thinking back to the tribulation cloud that day, they felt a deep fear towards Sima Yue. Don't ever provoke her again. Not only could he not provoke her, he also wanted others not to provoke her. If she was unhappy and attracted the lightning tribulation, he would be implicated. Hence, Sima Yue didn't know that her position in people's hearts had already reached a shocking level. It was simply enough to make adults change their expressions and children cry when they hear her name. 3 days later, Anaheim brought Yu Hao out of the dark palace. The palace maids and guards who were guarding outside immediately went forward and escorted the two of them back to their respective palaces. Yu Hao's cultivation was low and he had stayed in the dark palace for 3 days. During these 3 days he was hungry and cold like a normal person. He couldn't even use his spiritual power to resist the cold. When he came out he was hungry, thirsty and cold. He was completely exhausted. He had never suffered like this in his entire life. But as compared to before he was still considered better. Anaheim was the one who was tortured for 3 days. At the start she had blocked the lightning tribulation for Wu Hao. Although her cultivation was not bad, it was after all heaven's lightning and she suffered quite a bit of injuries. Furthermore, the injuries left behind by the lightning tribulation were not of much use to normal pills. Hence, after staying in the dark palace for 3 days with injuries, one could imagine her condition when she came out. What made her want to vomit blood was that the news had already spread throughout the capital. Not only did they know that Yu Hao had tried to kill Sima Yue, causing her to use the lightning tribulation to retaliate, they also knew that she had put herself in a difficult situation because of protecting Yu Hao. Not only that, those people who saw the lightning tribulation in Yangcheng were very afraid of Sima Yue. If she were to make a move on her, she was afraid that it would cause too much public anger. Hence she couldn't touch her now. She laid on her phoenix bed and was so angry that she broke her fingernails. She had never been in such a difficult situation in her life and it was all because of that little slut. Queen, don't be angry and hurt your body. Anaheim's head palace maid Hexiang comforted. No matter how much that Sima Yue can attract the lightning tribulation, she is just a young and inexperienced lass. She won't be able to cause any waves. It was this young and inexperienced lass that caused me to suffer the greatest setback in my life. Anaheim said angrily, I can't take this lying down. If I don't kill her, I won't be able to vent my anger. I'll also let down who died. Queen, don't lose your composure because of a little girl. Blue River walked in from outside. Seeing her pale face, he slightly furrowed his brows. How did you get so heavily injured? Queen blocked the lightning tribulation for His Highness and then stayed in the dark palace for 3 days. She's already a bit better. When she first came out she looked even scarier. Hexiang said. The Sima Yue. Blue River's eyes revealed an ominous glint. It looks like I can't let her live. What are you planning on doing? Hexiang asked. Now isn't the time to make a move. I know. Blue River said, I won't make a move while she's in the palace, but she won't stay in the palace forever. As long as she goes out, it's hard to say whether she'll live or die. Do you have any ideas? Anaheim asked. I heard that she treated you Kuluo's former palace maids and guards quite well. Blue River asked. Yes. Hexiang nodded. Just because His Highness people beat up her palace people, she beat him up as well. Then that's easy. I remember that a few of you Kuluo's guards and palace maids went missing after going out on a mission. It seems like they were locked up. If we can find those people and spread the news, she'll naturally leave the palace. But she can attract lightning tribulation. No matter how many people we send, it won't be enough. Hexiang said. Those people are all useless trash. This time we'll definitely need some strange abilities. How could normal people do it? Blue River said confidently. Thinking about those people under him, Anaheim regained her confidence. Then I'll leave this matter to you. Don't worry. I'll take revenge for you. Blue River smiled. Hexiang looked at his smile from the side. Although she had seen it many times, she still couldn't resist his smile. Unfortunately, his smile was only for Anaheim. Blue River gave Anaheim a checkup. Good, you didn't hurt your core. You just need to rest now. Don't worry about anything else. However, you have to properly control His Highness. If he wasn't so impatient, you wouldn't have to suffer this time. Chapter 1915. 1 second to remember. Love divided by you? Read book web no pop-up windows free to read. Anaheim sighed. How could I not know? But that was Duer's only son. and also an extension of his bloodline. He's no longer here, so when I see this child I think of him. I'm the Ghost Empress, so what kind of life can't I give him? So I just let him be. Indeed, in the past, no one dared to touch a single hair on Yu Hao's head. Who wouldn't be scared away when they heard his name? Originally, this kind of life was nothing. After all, no one dared to provoke her. But Sima Yue appeared and made her suffer such a big loss for the first time. Blue River knew how much she treasured Yu Hao, so he didn't say much. He just stood up and retreated, saying, "Rest well, I'll go make the arrangements first." "Go, I'll have to trouble you." Anaheim smiled at him. That weak appearance of hers didn't have the strength and fierceness of the past. Blue River gave her a deep look, then turned and left the palace. "Queen, just now Lord Blue River looked even scarier than before," Lotus Fragrance said. Anaheim touched her face and a smile appeared on her face. She didn't look as weak as before. When dealing with men, especially men who admire you, sometimes you just need to let yourself be weak. She chuckled. Blue River's ability isn't bad. If it wasn't for, thinking of the past, Anaheim's gaze became somewhat gloomy. If she hadn't entered the palace at that time, her life would be different. Queen. Lotus Fragrance was her former maid, so she naturally knew what she was thinking. She called her with heartache. "You can leave. I want to rest alone for a while." Ghost Concubine closed her eyes, concealing all her emotions. He Xiang curtsied and retreated with the palace maids. Sima Yue heard about Anaheim's situation in her own palace. Seeing Xiu lose her usual composure and dance with joy, she also laughed. "Since you're so happy, let's celebrate tonight. But remember to close the door. Otherwise we'll attract gossip again." "Alright. Then I'll go arrange it. Tonight we'll celebrate with good food and drinks." After Xiu finished speaking, she left excitedly. Sima Yue looked at her and shook her head with a smile. She turned her head and saw the palace maid Leng Yun standing by the side. Her expression was a little complicated. She asked, "What's wrong, Leng Yun? Are you unhappy?" "No, little princess. This servant is just a little sad." Leng Yun replied respectfully. "Sad? What?" Sima Yue asked curiously when she saw the tears in her eyes. This servant thought of this servant's brother. If he was still here, he would definitely be very happy to see Miss being so powerful. Leng Yun replied. "Your brother? Are they also from the youthful palace?" Sima Yue asked. "Yes, but he's no longer here," Leng Yun said. "Dead." Leng Yun shook her head. "After the princess had an accident, my brother and a few people went out of the palace while on a mission, wanting to find the princess's whereabouts. Then he never came back. We haven't been able to contact them for a long time. They all said that brother and the others are no longer here." "Where's their life jade? We're all servants. How can we have life jade?" Leng Yun said sadly. "Since it's just a loss of contact, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're dead. I'll let my cousin and the others look for them later. Maybe there's still hope," Sima Yue said. When Leng Yun heard this, she knelt down in front of her. She kowtowed while crying, "Thank you, little princess. Thank you, little princess." "Alright, if you don't get up, I won't talk to my cousin anymore," Sima Yue said. Leng Yun's movements paused. Her body stayed in place. Then, seeing that Sima Yue didn't seem to be joking, she immediately stood up. "Tell me first what's going on," Sima Yue said. After the princess came back from the human realm, she washed her face with tears all day in the palace. Later we heard that something happened. Later, the princess went out saying that she was going to find the king, but she never came back. At that time we wanted to find the princess, but the entire youthful palace was forbidden to leave at that time, so we couldn't find out anything. Later, when the youthful palace was lifted, we found out that something had happened to the princess. Leng Yun talked about what happened at that time. Her tears still couldn't stop flowing. Sima Yue knew that her mother went to find her grandfather and asked to be suppressed. At that time, some people said that the princess had been killed. Some people said that the princess was taken away. Later, the king ordered that no one was allowed to discuss this matter. We didn't believe those news. My brother and the others wanted to go out of the palace to find it. Later, there was a mission that allowed them to go out of the palace, so they thought of a way to participate. After leaving the palace, they went to find the princess's whereabouts. At first there was still news, but after a few years the news stopped. Leng Yun said. "It's been hard on you." Sima Yue could imagine how difficult the life of the people in the youthful palace was after her mother was suppressed. Under such circumstances, Leng Yun's brother and the others still tried to go out and find the whereabouts of her mother. Their feelings for her mother were self-evident. "We're not embarrassed, It's just that we haven't found the princess's whereabouts. Lung Yun felt that it wasn't right to say that. Sima Yue would be sad if she heard it. The princess must be fine. I know. Sima Yue said, Mother is still alive. Really? Lung Yun wiped her tears. Little princess, do you know the princess's whereabouts? I know, but it's useless to know now. Don't think about this. I'll tell you if there's any follow-up news. I must save my mother and I must find your brother and the others. Sima Yue said. Thank you, little princess. Lung Yun's tears didn't stop. When Xiu came in again, her tears were still falling. Xiu asked doubtfully, What's wrong? Little princess, did Lung Yun make you angry? No, Xiu. You came at the right time. You persuade her, I'll go out of the palace. Sima Yue said. Little princess, you're going out? Yes, I'm going to the general's mansion. Sima Yue said. Isn't it too dangerous to go out of the palace at this time? Xiu was worried. She didn't know why she suddenly wanted to go out. They were not prepared at all. No, I'll let Lingyu and the others go with me. You continue to prepare dinner, I'll rush back for dinner. Sima Yue said and went out of the palace. She found Wu Lingyu and He Ying and went out of the palace together. Seeing this, Xiu didn't stop her. After she left, she asked Lung Yun why she was crying. Lung Yun told her what Sima Yue said. Xiu was silent after hearing it. After a while, she patted Lung Yun's shoulder. We followed two good masters. She just hoped that it was not too late. Chapter 1916. In 1 second she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web no pop-up window free to read. Sima Yue, Wu Lingyu, Black Shadow and Huan went to the general's residence. It was Dija's first time seeing Black Shadow and Huan, but he had heard about their deeds from Di Lu and Di Wu. Why are you here? Dija asked her. I came to find you for something. Sima Yue said, Are you busy? It's nothing. If there's anything you want me to do, just send a message. Dija said, If there's anything, let's sit down and talk. Sima Yue and the other three sat down. The Ghost Master looked at Black Shadow and Huan and asked, These are the two people who were protecting you outside Yangcheng, right? I heard that the two of you have strange movements. Where are you from? This. Sima Yue was in a difficult position. She brought Black Shadow and Huan out just to let them get some fresh air, not to let people know their identities. There's nothing to hide. Huan said, The two of us are from the underworld and were ordered by the King of Hell to protect Mississippi. Underworld? Miss. Everyone in the room looked at Sima Yue and Black Shadow in surprise. Everyone was guessing the identity of Black Shadow and Huan, but they didn't expect them to be from the legendary underworld. And why did they call her Miss? She wasn't from the underworld, was she? Isn't the underworld a legendary place? The Ghost Master indeed knew about the underworld. Before I came to the Ghost Realm, I went to the underworld by chance and met Ming and Huan. Black Shadow and Huan have special identities, so I hope you can keep this a secret. Sima Yue said. Haha, that's easy. Since we're here to protect you, we naturally won't tell anyone and cause you trouble. But does grandfather know? Dija asked. The appearance of people from the underworld in the Ghost Realm's palace was not a small matter. Grandfather knows, he knew when he saw them. Sima Yue replied. That's good. Tell me, what do you want from me? Dija asked. It's like this. I want you to help me find the whereabouts of a few people. After Sima Yue finished speaking, she told him about how Brother Lingyun and the other imperial guards left the palace to search for Yukuluo's whereabouts. I know you have spies everywhere, so see if you can find them. They're quite loyal to Auntie. However, there has been no news for so many years. It is highly possible that... Dija looked at Sima Yue and told her not to get her hopes up. I know. Sima Yue nodded. If he's really dead, we need to know something that can make Lingyun and the others give up and stop waiting. All right. Leave it to me. Dija agreed without hesitation. Those who were loyal to his aunt were the ones he wanted to protect. Thank you, cousin. Sima Yue said gratefully. Since it's Auntie's people, there's no need to thank me. Dija didn't like her thanking him. By the way, something seems to have happened to the Mo clan. Something happened to the Mo clan? What's going on? We're not very clear about this. When we were investigating Mou's whereabouts these days, we found that he had returned to the Mo clan a long time ago. Dija said, but the news of the Mo clan is generally not easy to find out, so we don't know what happened. Sima Yue frowned slightly. Moji once told her that Mou had handed over the affairs of the Mo clan to his clansmen. He usually didn't care about it, so he was often not in the Mo clan. Now that he had returned to the Mo clan, It meant that something must have happened to the Mo clan, and it was not a trivial matter. No wonder Mo you didn't come to her or contact her when the incident in Yangqing City was so big. It turned out that something had happened. Deja saw that she didn't speak and lowered her head to think about something, so he didn't disturb her. After a while, she looked up at him and asked, "Do you know where the Mo clan is?" "Are you going to the Mo clan?" Deja asked. "I want to have a look. I haven't been to the Mo clan either. Mou and Moj have invited me before. This time I'll go and see if I can help." Sima Yue said. Mou and she had a good friendship in the human world and he taught her a lot of underworld skills. After coming to the ghost realm he also asked Moj to protect her. She has always remembered this friendship in her heart. The Mo clan's matter this time should not be small, otherwise with his temperament he would not stay in the Mo clan all the time. Although she didn't have much strength, it was good to go and have a look. Maybe there was something she could help with. Deja was not surprised by her decision. With his understanding of her, he would be surprised if she didn't care about this matter. "I naturally know the location of the Mo clan, but if you go out of the city now, I'm afraid it will be very dangerous. Moreover, I'm afraid grandfather won't let you go out," Deja said. "Grandfather just doesn't want me to go to find my mother. If I go to other places he won't care about me." Sima Yue said, "If he doesn't want me to leave and not come back." It was a threat, a blatant threat. But Deja knew that the Ghost King would definitely fall for it. "What about Anaheim? She can't touch you in the palace, but once you leave the imperial capital, I'm afraid you will have a lot of trouble." Deja was still a little worried. "Don't worry, there are Ling Yu and Huan," Sima Yue said. "Okay then." Deja told her the location of the Mo clan. "Recently, the Soul Society has been restless. I have to deal with Anaheim and deal with the affairs of the Soul Society, so I can't accompany you. But you know the contact information of the D family army. If there is anything, just contact them. Take this, with it, you can also mobilize the armies of various cities." Chapter 1917. In 1 second she remembered, "Love divided by you?" Read book webquick update, no pop-up window, free to read. Shiyu and the others were all stunned. "Little princess, are you leaving the palace?" "Well, I have something to do." Sima Yue said, "It shouldn't take long. You have to guard this place well, don't let others destroy Yuhua Palace." "Little princess, let's go with you," Yang Hui said. "No need, your injuries have not fully recovered, and the place I am going is not suitable for many people." "Little princess, where are you going?" Shiyu asked. "The Mo clan." Sima Yue said, "It's very safe there, so you don't have to worry. Then we will wait here for little princess to come back." Shiyu and the others all understood that Sima Yue would not change her decision, which was very similar to the princess. Since she decided not to take them, she would not take them. "Well, you stay here and wait for me to come back," Sima Yue said and raised her wine glass. "Don't think about other things, come, let's toast and celebrate what makes us happy." "Yes, Anaheim was forced by the little princess to take this loss, we should really celebrate. Cheers." Early the next morning, Sima Yue went to find the Ghost King. The Ghost King was in seclusion before, but Deja interrupted him and he went to bring Sima Yue back. After dealing with some things, he continued his seclusion. Except for the time when Sima Yue attracted the Thunder Tribulation, he did not come out. Sima Yue came to the place where the Ghost King was in seclusion for the first time. The two people guarding outside were the same two people who stopped Deja before. When they saw her coming in, they bowed slightly. "Little princess, is grandfather in seclusion?" Sima Yue asked. "Yes. But the king is not in seclusion. If little princess has something to do, we can also inform him for you," one of them said. "Sorry to trouble you." Sima Yue smiled at the two of them and stood there waiting. The person who spoke turned around and went in. The other person saw Sima Yue quietly observing the courtyard and felt that it was different from what he had imagined. The person who could cause such a big commotion was actually such a quiet person. After a while, the person who went in came out and said to Sima Yue, "Little princess, please." "Thank you." Sima Yue nodded and followed him in. After the guard brought Sima Yue in, he came out and continued to guard the door with another guard. "This little princess is really different. She is indeed different from the other princesses and princes. No wonder the king likes her so much. He rejected everyone else who came and only she was allowed to enter. Little princess, your future is limitless." Judging from her behavior just now and thinking about what she had done before, she was definitely a person who was not inferior to the Dark Princess. She coincidentally knew that the heavenly Tao was incomplete. Even he couldn't do anything about it. What method could she come up with? Just as he was lost in thought, Sima Yu came back and sat in front of him. She crossed her legs and sat down face to face with him. Grandfather, you also know that the heavenly Tao is incomplete. Otherwise you wouldn't be in seclusion here. Instead you would be trying to break through to Emperor. Sima Yue raised her head and looked at him. Haven't you thought about finding a way? The heavenly Tao has changed for hundreds of thousands of years. If there was a way, there wouldn't be no emperor until now. Although the Ghost King was unwilling, this was the truth. Aunt Feng used a secret method to advance to emperor. But in the end, she was still not recognized by the heavenly Tao. Sima Yue's words were like a bomb, setting off huge waves in the Ghost King's heart. Was there really someone who advanced to emperor? Did that mean that he could also? Sima Yue ignored the fluctuations in his heart and continued, Grandfather, do you know the origin of life? The real origin of life should be in the chaotic world. The Ghost King said. That's right. The chaotic world created life, but in the end all life left the chaotic world. But I think, since life originated there, there might be an opportunity for change. At this time, the two guards who were previously guarding the door came to Youthful Palace. Han Feng, Han Shan come to report to the little princess. The two of them saluted together, their attitude very respectful. So Cold Wind and Cold Mountain are you? Sima Yue said, do you know my request? The king has already told us. Han Shan said, we will follow from a distance with our men and will not disturb the little princess. That's good. However, we need Mrs. Aura. After Han Feng finished speaking, he came to Sima Yue's side and patted her gently on the shoulder. A white thing floated out of her body and fell into Han Feng's hand. Sima Yue didn't feel any discomfort in her body, so she didn't say anything. This is just the little princess's aura. It won't hurt your body. In addition, you can use this to contact us. Black Wind gave her a sound stone. Sima Yue put it away. After thinking for a while, she called out a few scarlet bees. You can take this with you. Han Feng accepted the scarlet bees, guessing that they were her contracted beasts. When the time came, they would be able to contact her directly. Sima Yu, Wu Lingyu and the others left. They directly cut through the void and left. Han Shan said, let's go. Han Feng glanced at him and said, let's go find the king first. Han Shan wanted to say, didn't they just come from the king? Why did they have to go back? However, seeing his serious expression, he didn't say anything and followed them back to the place where the Ghost King was in seclusion. The Ghost King saw them and asked, what's the matter? King, do you know that the little princess is a soul body? Han Feng's words stunned Han Shan on the spot. It's because of this that I let the two of you lead the team. No matter if it's a soul body or a physical body, she is the princess of the Ghost Clan. You just have to remember this. The Ghost King said. Yes. Han Feng knew that the Ghost King should have known long ago. The Ghost King watched Han Feng and Han Shan leave and continued to study the water of chaos. Not many people knew that Sima Yue had left the palace. When Anaheim found out, she had already left for a long time. She had lost the initiative and didn't know where she went. She could only wait for news of her before taking action. Half a month later, Sima Yue came to a bustling city. They didn't go directly to find her but found an inn to stay in. Sima Yue pushed open the window of the room. There were not many pedestrians on the adjacent street. Wu Lingyu came behind her, hugged her from behind, put his chin on her shoulder and said, it seems that something has happened to the Mo clan. Well, according to my cousin, this Mo city is very prosperous, but now there are not many people on the streets and many shops are closed. Sima Yue analyzed, I think they should have all gone back to the Mo clan. Chapter 1919. In 1 second she remembered, love divided by you? Read book, net no pop-up window, free to read. The person sitting inside was none other than Mo Jean, whom she had seen that day. Miss, why are you here? Mo Jean was also surprised to see Sima Yue. Didn't they say that she went to the imperial capital? Why was she here? I heard that something happened to the Mo clan, so I came to see if it was true. Sima Yue said, when I came to Mo city, I knew that the news was true. Old John, this is... The shopkeeper had never seen Sima Yue before. Because of the recent events of the Mo clan, he didn't know much about the outside world. She is Miss Yue, the princess personally conferred by the Ghost King. Mo Jean introduced. She is Miss Yue? The shopkeeper was surprised for a moment, then got up and saluted Sima Yue. This little one has eyes but failed to recognize Mount Tai. I didn't recognize Miss, please forgive me. Shopkeeper is too polite. Sima Yue stepped forward to help him up, looked at Mo Jean and said, Why are you here? What happened to the Mo clan? Where are Emoji and Mou? I came out this time for the young master. When Emojan spoke of Emoji, a worried look appeared on his face. What happened to Emoji? Emojan hesitated for a moment but still told her the truth. When we came back from the Nirvana River, we were intercepted halfway. The young master was poisoned and hasn't woken up yet. What? Sima Yue was shocked. She and Emoji have been separated for 2 or 3 years, but he hasn't woken up yet. I came out this time to ask Old Su to find the needed medicinal herbs. Emojan said. Have you thought of a way to detoxify the poison? Sima Yue's eyes were full of hope. No, it's the medicinal herbs for the young master's life. However, the doctors in the clan said that if the poison is not detoxified, the young master is afraid. Emojan said, his eyes were red. Then have you explained it? I know some medical skills too. Bring me there. Sima Yue said. Emojan didn't know that Sima Yue had medical skills, but he knew that she had a good relationship with Emoji. Knowing that she had medical skills, he wanted her to give it a try. I've already settled the matters here. I'm about to return to the clan. Princess, please follow me. He took out the teleportation portal and brought Sima Yue and the rest back to the clan. The location of the Mo clan was very hidden. If there wasn't a direct transmission array, it would be difficult for ordinary people to get here. Seeing that Emojan had brought 4 strangers in, someone immediately went up to stop them. Emojan, what are you doing? How can you bring strangers in at this time? This is Princess Yue, the person that old ancestor instructed us to protect. Emojan said, Princess Yue knows medicine, I want to bring her to treat young master. As soon as the other party heard that she was Sima Yue, his attitude became much more respectful. However, he didn't immediately give way but said awkwardly, Emojan, treating young master is not a trivial matter. Miss Yue looks young, even the doctors in the clan can't do anything about it. If something happens, where's the patriarch? I'll take the princess to see the patriarch. The patriarch is in the meeting hall. Princess, let's go. Where's Mou? Sima Yue asked. Old ancestor is over there too. Unexpectedly, as soon as that person's voice fell, Mou appeared in front of them. Seeing Sima Yue, the tiredness on Mou's face dissipated a little, and he said in a deep voice, You're here. Well, I came to see if there's anything I can help with. Sima Yue nodded, Emoji I'll take you there. After Mou finished speaking, he waved his long sleeve, and the few of them disappeared from the spot, leaving only Emojan and the people who had intercepted them before. The old ancestor actually came out to pick her up in person. It seemed that the rumor that the old ancestor had a good relationship with her was true. The patriarch of the Mo family, Xie, was Emoji's grandfather. Emoji's father, Li, had also arrived at Emoji's courtyard. When they saw Mou bringing a little girl over, they were a little surprised. Just now, they were discussing something in the meeting hall when Mou suddenly said that someone had come and asked them to wait here. They didn't expect that the person he personally went to welcome would be her. Greetings, princess. Sima Yue didn't bother to be polite with them and asked directly, Where's Emoji? He's inside, I'll take you there. Mou took Sima Yue into Emoji's bedroom, and what she saw was Emoji lying lifelessly on the bed with a pale and thin face. I'll take a look at him first. Sima Yue said as she stepped forward and began to examine Emoji. The people in the room didn't dare to speak. Although Emojier and Li were full of questions, seeing that the old ancestor was here, they didn't dare to speak. After a while, Sima Yue finished her examination. Looking at her expression, Mou knew that Emoji would be fine. How is it? Who was the one who did it? Sima Yue didn't answer but asked instead. What's wrong? The poison in Emoji is a poison from the human world. Sima Yue said, What does the person who went to kill him have to do with the human world? Emoji was also a little surprised when he heard this. Are you sure? Sima Yue nodded and said with certainty, The person who developed this poison is my friend, but this poison is fatal in the human world. The other party may want to use a poison that you can't find out, so they chose the poison of the human world, but it is precisely because of the difference between the physique of the human race and the ghost race that Emoji can live until today. Chapter 1920. In 1 second she remembered, Love divided by you? Read book webno pop-up window free to read. Cool hands caressed his forehead, followed by a familiar voice. Well, the fever has subsided, which means that the poison is almost detoxified. Yue. Emoji called out, his voice was hoarse. Don't talk, eat this. Sima Yue's voice sounded a little ethereal to him, like a dream. A pill was stuffed into his mouth, it melted as soon as it entered his mouth, and then he felt that his head was much clearer and his throat was comfortable. He looked at Sima Yue. She pulled out the silver needles from his body and said, "You are poisoned, I am detoxifying you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me when you are better." Moji blinked and watched her work quietly. After she pulled out all the silver needles, she covered him with a quilt. "Lingyu, you can let them in now." She turned her head and said. Only then did Moji notice Wu Lingyu standing at the end of the bed. Wu Lingyu removed the enchantment, but before she opened the door, Mo Li and the others had already pushed the door in. "Princess, how is it?" Moji's mother Yun Xiao asked as soon as she came in. "He has been detoxified and he is fine now." Sima Yue replied, "But he has been relying on medicine to save his life for more than 2 years, so his body is relatively weak now, and he needs to recuperate to fully recover." "Thank you, Princess. If it weren't for you, wouldn't have been able to get through this." Yun Xiao looked at her gratefully. "Emoji is also my friend. Auntie, you are too polite." Sima Yue smiled. No, you are the master of the ancestor and a princess, how can you call me auntie? You can call me Yun Xiao." "That's right, we can't mess up the seniority." Emoli also responded. "It doesn't matter, Mou is too old, so don't worry about him." Sima Yue said, "Let's do it according to this, and his is counted separately." Since the princess said so, then let's do it. After Xie finished speaking, he came to the bed and saw that Emoji had indeed woken up, and his complexion was much better. It seemed that he had indeed been detoxified. "Grandpa." Emoji called out softly, his voice was much better than before. "It's good that you're awake." Xie patted his hand. "Grandpa will definitely avenge you." Grandpa Emoji just woke up. He needs to rest more and talk less. You guys can talk for a while and then let him rest. I'm going back to rest. Sima Yue said. "Alright, thank you, Princess." Emoji and the others all got up and saluted her. She nodded and left Emoji's room with Wu Lingyu. Sima Yue came to her room, which was in the courtyard next to Emoji's. Wu Lingyu saw that she was not in a good mood and raised his eyebrows. "Are you thinking about the mortal realm? This poison was developed by Shi Qianji. I didn't expect to see it in the ghost realm. He is now in Paramount Valley, so he shouldn't have any contact with the ghost realm," Sima Yue said. "If you are worried about who is colluding with the ghost realm, just ask Mo about the Mo family." Wu Lingyu said. "Let's ask later. I'm a little tired from studying the antidote these few days. Now that Emoji has just woken up, I'm afraid that their thoughts are here. I'll rest for half a day and then ask Mo. Okay. Let's go to rest." Wu Lingyu nodded seriously. She was the one who was going to rest, okay? How did it become them going to rest when it came to him? Wu Lingyu smiled gently. "I'm also very tired from accompanying you these few days. Let's go and sleep together. It's very late now anyway." Early the next morning, Sima Yue went to see Emoji. After a night of recovery, his spirit was much better. "Yue, thank you. It was you who saved me." Emoji smiled at her gratefully. "It's not your time to die. I happen to know the poison you were poisoned with. How do you feel now?" Sima Yue came to the bedside and held his hand to check. "I'm much better," Emoji said, "but my hands are still a little weak." Sima Yue let go of him and replied, "This is normal. After all, you have been poisoned for more than 2 years. It will take time for you to fully recover. You've recovered quite well. I'll refine some medicinal pills for you later. You can eat them together." "Thank you." "Okay, how many times have you said thank you? If you really want to thank me, get better soon and then give me a bunch of treasures." Sima Yue laughed. "The thank you gift you want is really vulgar." "I can't help it, I'm a vulgar person." Sima Yue got up. "I'll go find your ancestor, you have a good rest." "Ancestor should be in the meeting hall with my grandfather and the others now," Emoji reminded her. Sima Yue knew, but she didn't know if she could go to the meeting hall and how to get there. But soon her doubts were no longer doubts, because someone greeted her when she left Emoji's courtyard. "Princess, the patriarch invites you." Since Sima Yue knew that they were in the meeting hall, this should mean that she was asked to participate. She and Wu Lingyu came to the meeting hall. The quaint hall exuded a historical aura. "You're here, have you seen Emoji first?" Emoyu sat at the head of the table and the seat next to him was empty. Sima Yue walked to the seat and sat down at his gesture, and Wu Lingyu sat next to her. "How much do you know about the Emo clan?" Emoyu asked her. Sima Yue shook her head. "I don't know anything. If you don't know anything, why did you rush here for so long? Mou glanced at her. That's right, this is you. Although I don't know what's going on, I'm here to see if I can help. Who told the Mo clan's affairs to be untraceable outside? Sima Yue was also speechless, but fortunately I'm here. If Emoji had delayed for a while, I'm afraid there would have been nothing we could do. Princess, we are very grateful that you can help us. However, Princess should leave the Mo clan as soon as possible. We will have someone send you back to the imperial capital. Emosia said. Sima Yue didn't expect Emosia to say such a thing. It was not Mou's style. What, is your opponent a difficult bone to chew? Sima Yue asked. It's not easy to chew, but it can be done. Mou said, their old guy used to be at odds with me. This time, I don't know who bewitched him, but he has been looking for trouble with us. Sima Yue understood as soon as she heard it. For a transcendent clan like the Mo clan, it would definitely not be a small matter. One of the 8 great clans? Is it from the ghost realm or the soul realm? She asked. Mou knew that she could guess it, so he was not surprised. Seems that I guessed right. Since it's a well-matched clan, why are you still suppressed by them? Chapter 1921. 1 second to remember. Love divided by you? Read book web. Updated quickly, no pop-up window, free to read. Among the 8 great clans, the Mo clan was one of the top clans, so it should not be so easy for others to suppress them. But looking at the Mo clan's current appearance, it was obvious that they were being suppressed very badly. The other party is 2 clans. Mou said, the strength of the 4 clans in the ghost realm is not much different. The 2nd and 4th clans are united. Even if we deal with them, it will be a bit troublesome. No wonder even you came back. Sima Yue said, but why? Why do they want to deal with you? It has always been peaceful, and they won't suddenly suppress you for no reason. It's because of the mythical dragon order. Ancestor. As soon as Mou finished speaking, Emosia and the others all called out in disapproval. It doesn't matter. Mou said calmly, it doesn't matter if she knows. Sima Yue looked at everyone in confusion. What is the mythical dragon order? Mythical dragon order? Wu Lingyu, who rarely interrupted, actually spoke. Is it that mythical dragon order? You know? Sima Yue looked at Wu Lingyu in surprise. I've heard of it before. Wu Lingyu said, it's something that can get the power of the mythical dragon. As long as you get it, whether in the human realm, ghost realm, or devil realm, you can mobilize all the spirit beasts on the ground. If you can crack the power in it, you can get the power left in it by the mythical dragon, half of the power sealed in it. The power of the mythical dragon? Sima Yue's eyes widened. Mou, is it true? Qi Yan's injury lasted for hundreds of thousands of years, so he had to turn into a beast egg to save his last life. After contracting with her, coupled with her continuous promotion, he finally recovered a little. However, even if it was a little, she could feel that it was a very powerful force. If he fully recovers, she couldn't imagine the power. The Azure Dragon and the Vermilion Bird were parallel existences in the world. If it was half of the power of the Azure Dragon, it was also a very terrifying power. Moreover, it could mobilize all the spirit beasts on the ground, which was very attractive. That's right, the mythical dragon order has indeed come to the ghost realm. But it's not with us. Mou said, but that guy is sure that it's with me and even got an accomplice. The Qi clan is ranked 2nd and the 9th clan is ranked 4th. That's them. Qi, that guy, was originally unreconciled to the fact that I was stronger than him. Now that he's gotten this news, he naturally won't let me go. He wants to completely annihilate us. Mou said. The whereabouts of the Shenlong order have always been unknown. Why do they think that the Shenlong order is in the Mo clan? This should be recent, right? Wu Lingyu asked. Because of a child. A child? Yes. After I left Vast Region, I walked around and met a strange boy in a very small city. A strange boy. That boy looks no more than 7 or 8 years old, but he doesn't look like an ordinary child. Out of curiosity, I came into contact with him for a period of time. When Mou spoke up to hear, he seemed to have thought of something and stopped. And then? What did you find? Sima Yue asked. I found that he was not a child, but something happened when he was young, so his body stopped growing. But before I could study it in depth, he disappeared. Mou continued. Could it be that that child is the owner of the Shenlong order? I didn't think of it at that time, but now that I think about it, it's true. Mou said, maybe it's because he got the Shenlong order that his body stopped growing. Is it because he inherited the power of the Shenlong? On the contrary. It's because he got the Shenlong order and didn't really unlock the power in it that his body has this kind of situation. Sima Yue tapped her fingers on the table a few times, thought for a while and said, because that kid may have leaked the power of the Shenlong before and then disappeared, so you who stayed with him were suspected and thought that you took him away. However, this is just an excuse, right? Mou gave her a smart look. The Qi clan has always been eyeing us covetously, and there will be a next time. What they need is just a reason. TSK, a transcendent family like yours will naturally have a lot of contradictions, and in the long run, it will always erupt. Sima Yue knocked on the table. However, I don't think you should take those guys seriously. You were more worried about emoji before. This matter is also a headache. It's just a headache, then it's really nothing. Sima Yue said, that's good, I don't have to worry about you. What do you mean you don't have to worry about us? Mou glared at her. If you didn't come then it's fine, but since you're here then you're on our boat. If you go out now you'll be considered to be on my side. So what you said, we're on the same side? Sima Yue blinked at him. Mou looked at her. Why did he feel that she suddenly changed her style? You said it yourself. We're on the same side. Yes. Then if you're on the same side as me, then you won't be with Anaheim, right? Sima Yue looked at him with a smile. Cousin is very worried. He said that Anaheim is trying to win you over. He's afraid that you'll board her pirate ship. Is there still a need to worry about this? Mou reached out and knocked her on the head, giving her a fierce look of contempt. Hey, I'm not worried, but my cousin is. Who asked you to work for Anaheim before? Sima Yue patted his hand away. Speaking of which, you wanted to kill me before. You remember all the little things, you have a good memory. Mou snorted. Chapter 1922. In 1 second she remembered, love divided by you? Read book, net no pop-up window, free to read. Sima Yue stayed in the Mo clan, and except for checking Emoji's body she basically didn't go out. Wu Lingyu, Huan and the Black Shadow didn't cultivate, so they wandered around the Mo clan. When the Mo clan saw them they were very curious about their identities. Some of them were bold enough to run to challenge the Black Shadow and the others when they saw their strange movement techniques. On this day, after Sima Yue checked Emoji's body, she was dragged by Mou to drink tea. The house where the two were located was the highest place in the Mo clan, where they could watch the entire Mo clan. Sima Yue looked into the distance and just saw Wu Lingyu and the others fighting with the Mo clan. Many people surrounded them and it was very lively. You guys are really leisurely. Sima Yue took a sip of tea and said softly, you guys have deceived a lot of people like this. When she was outside, even she thought that the Mo clan was in big trouble, so they called back all the people outside. But who would have thought that they were so leisurely in the clan? Only this can paralyze the enemy. Mou said, if they don't taste the sweetness they will never take the next step. Are you ready? Sima Yue asked. This grudge is not 3 or 2 years old, and the preparation work is not in a day or two. Some things have to be solved. Do you remember I once said that the ghost realm is going to be chaotic? I thought we could get out of these turmoil, but I didn't expect that we would also become a part of it. Mou said. Sima Yue was silent. This world has been peaceful for too long, and there will naturally be some turmoil. As I have heard before, the general trend of the world, if it is divided for a long time, it will be united for a long time, and if it is united for a long time, it will be divided. Can't be like this forever. Even so, it also needs an opportunity. I once said that you will bring changes to the ghost realm. You will be the cause and the effect. So you're saying that I'm the cause of this? Sima Yue raised her eyebrows. I'm not the one who interacted with the kid with the Dragon God order. Emoji felt that this matter had something to do with her, but he was not a divinator, so he couldn't figure out where the real implication was. Could it be just because she was here now? However, his intuition told him that this was not the case. He still remembered that when he was in the human realm, when he closed his eyes, the chaotic ghost realm appeared in front of him and she was in it. She and the turmoil in the ghost realm were not only involved in the affairs of this Mo clan. Sima Yue saw that he was silent and asked, what are you thinking about? Nothing. Mou didn't tell her what he was thinking. He picked up his teacup and took a sip. Good. Moreover, he heard that the other two parties were also searching, which meant that the entire ghost realm was searching for the North Divine Seal. Under such circumstances, there was still no news. Then, he wondered what kind of reaction she would have when she broke through the underworld venerable level and found out about this news. Mou actually didn't dare to imagine. When he met her, she was still a little girl. For some unknown reason, her spiritual energy was sealed by heaven's punishment. Even so, she still told him that one day she would come to the ghost realm and rescue her mother. For so many years, family reunion had always been the biggest thought in her heart. If he told her that this was impossible, what a cruel thing it would be. However, he couldn't tell her now. If she knew, he was afraid that she would lose the motivation to move forward. At this time, not far from the Mo clan, a 7 or 8-year-old boy was holding a square iron block and smashing a walnut in his hand. What kind of walnut is this? Why is it so hard? Fortunately, I have this guy, otherwise I can't eat it. After the little boy smashed the walnut, he picked out the pulp inside, put it in his mouth and chewed it a few times. However, this taste is really delicious. After eating one, he picked up the iron block and smashed a few more. He felt a little tired, so he simply sat on the ground and slowly picked out the meat inside to eat. Alas, I was told to come here to find that woman, but where is she? The ghost realm is so big I can't walk to my death. He muttered as he ate. The iron block was placed aside, and the word north could be faintly seen at the bottom. Wu Lingyu replied, she needs to focus on her cultivation and avoid unnecessary matters. I can only help her deal with these matters. The corner of Mou's mouth twitched. This guy was really straightforward. What do you want? He asked. It's very simple. Let me know your plan and see if there's anything that needs to be improved. Wu Lingyu flung his long sleeves and sat down in front of Mou. Mou stared at Wu Lingyu, secretly trying to figure out his identity. This aura was nothing compared to the Ghost King. Of course, Wu Lingyu knew what he was thinking, but he didn't say anything and let him look at him. At that time he was also a crazy devil king. He was evenly matched with the Ghost King and even led the devil race to attack the human world. Who could compare with that kind of bearing? Mou was silent for a while and said, tell me what you think. 1 year later, Sima Yue finally came out of seclusion and felt that her body was a little stiff. She twisted her neck and found that there was no one in the place where she lived. Where did those 3 guys go? Did they get into trouble and get kicked out? She looked around and didn't see anyone, so she had to go out. The Mo clan, which was originally quite lively, was also very quiet at this time. She looked around and didn't see the Mo clan people who used to be everywhere. After a while, she saw a group of children. The group of children were only a few years old and were led by a teenage girl. When the little girl saw Sima Yue, she saluted and said, Ancestor. Sima Yue's mouth twitched, thinking that she had an auditory hallucination. Ancestor? Was she that old? Ancestor is the master of our ancestor, so naturally, you are also our ancestor. The little girl was young, but her ability to observe people's expressions was good. What do you call emoji? Sima Yue asked. Little uncle. Then you can call me aunt. Sima Yue said with a sullen face, I won't agree to call me ancestor. Yes, auntie. The little girl smiled and replied. She even asked the other children to call her auntie. Where are the others? Why is the clan so deserted? Sima Yue asked. It's the Qi clan and the 9th clan. Ancestor took the clansmen to fight. The little girl replied. They fought so soon? Sima Yue was a little surprised. She didn't seem to have been in seclusion for long. They have fought several times. The little girl said, Ancestor said that it's almost over after this fight. So soon? Sima Yue was even more surprised. She thought that it would last for at least 3 or 5 years. She didn't expect that after a year of seclusion, it would be the time for the final battle. It seems that it's because Big Brother Wu Lingyu came up with an idea to let us beat the Qi clan until they couldn't fight back, so they sped up. The little girl said, if I didn't have to take care of this group of children in the clan, I would have gone with them. Wu Lingyu was also involved in this matter, which made Sima Yue somewhat surprised. However, she also knew that he did this for her. Otherwise, with his temperament, it was impossible for him to care about these things. Where are they now? They are in Mo City, but I don't know where exactly. And are you going? I know how to get to Mo City. When Sima Yue went, the battle was coming to an end. She felt the vibration from the void and saw that Mou and Wu Lingyu were not in the crowd of the Mo clan. She guessed that they had gone to the void to duel. The Qi clan and the 9th clan confronted the Mo clan. Both sides had casualties, but looking at the state of both sides, the Mo clan was much more relaxed. However, the other party did not give up. They stared at the Mo clan and wished to kill them all. The Mo clan's actions this year were completely different from before. Their plans were disrupted, their actions were swift, and their strategies were different from before, making them completely unable to resist. Even if they hid their strength in advance, it was not easy to deal with them. However, if they wanted to deal with them like this, the Mo clan thought it was too easy. Even if there was Wu Lingyu, they still had a chance to win. Have they stopped fighting? Sima Yue's voice came, making the atmosphere of the whole battlefield suddenly change. Chapter 1924. Remember in 1 second, love divided by you? Read book web, update quickly, no pop-up window, read for free. The Qi clan and the 9th clan went all out this time to destroy the Mo clan, so they brought all the people they could bring. This battle was much bigger than the previous battles, and it was also much more eye-catching. The 3 major clans of the Ghost Realm suddenly fought to the death, which also attracted a lot of people's attention. Although they were very curious about why this suddenly happened, no one dared to send people to investigate the news, they just paid attention to the battle. The Qi clan and the 9th clan originally thought that this time they would definitely be able to pull the Mo clan down from the first position. But they didn't expect that the Mo clan had also been hiding their strength these years, and their strength was much greater than before. The matter of being suppressed by the 2 clans in the past was also pretended, so their full confidence was shattered by the Mo clan. Moreover, it was very easy for the ancestors of the 2 clans to deal with Mou, but they didn't expect that there would be an additional stranger. That stranger obviously looked very young. How could he be so strong that he could actually hold back their ancestors? However, even so, the Qi clan and the 9th clan didn't feel that they would lose. At most, it would be a little difficult to win. As long as Mou and the stranger died, they would win. But they didn't expect that while waiting, Sima Yue actually ran over. Seeing her, they remembered the incident in Yang City. At the beginning, Di Wu and the others made many copies of the video of the incident in Yang City. They originally intended to spread it only in the imperial capital, but they didn't expect this incident to have such a great impact on everyone that it gradually leaked out. As a result, 1 copy was copied into 2 copies, 2 copies became 4 copies, more and more people got the Shadow Stone, and also saw the sky full of thunder tribulation outside Yang City. Now, Sima Yue came here, would she do that kind of thing again? If she pulled them to cross the tribulation together, what would happen? Could it be that they had to retreat like this? But they were unwilling. The battle between the ancestors was not over, and Sima Yue did not mean to activate the tribulation thunder. They waited in place with a fluke mentality. As long as their ancestors won, even if there was Sima Yue, it would be difficult for the Mo clan to develop in the future. Compared with the worries here, the people of the Mo clan were much more relaxed when they saw her. The tense hearts of those who were confronting the Qi clan relaxed a lot. Many of them revealed smiles on their faces. Yue, why are you here? Emoji greeted. He came out after his closed-door cultivation. Sima Yue said, where's Lingyu? She looked around but did not see Wu Lingyu. Logically speaking, he was the one who came up with the idea, so he should be here right now. I didn't expect Big Brother Lingyu to have such powerful skills. He fought with the old ancestor and the others into the void. Emoji said. When people who were too strong fought, their power would be too great and the area affected would be too wide. Therefore they would choose to fight in the void. Sima Yue was surprised to hear that. She knew that Wu Lingyu was formidable, but she did not expect that he could actually compete with the Qi clan's 9th family's old ancestor. He has a continuous supply of power from the Dragon Ball. This is a high-level cheat. A black shadow appeared beside her. Huan did not come, he should have gone to protect Wu Lingyu. The old ancestor and the others have been fighting for a long time. There should be a result soon. Emosia was wearing a golden armor, looking majestic. Then we'll wait. Sima Yue said. Wait for what? The Qi clan and the 9th clan suddenly understood that Sima Yue was going to make a move. If she wanted to deal with them, she would inevitably choose the simple way of thunder tribulation. We can't let her attract the thunder tribulation. Everyone, let's go together, we must strangle Sima Yue here. The Qi clan's patriarch shouted. The people of the Qi clan and the 9th clan hesitated for a while, and decided to kill Sima Yue first. Especially the 4th and 5th clans, who were the vanguard of the 9th clan. They were originally Anaheim's people and were not in the same camp as Sima Yue. If they killed her now, they could still go to the Anaheim to claim credit. Thinking of this, the 4th and 5th clans became energetic and attacked Sima Yue. When Emosia and the others saw that the 4th and 5th clans had actually made a move, they all moved and prepared to fight back. However, the vanguard of the 4th and 5th clans didn't even run half the distance before they were killed by the power from the air. How dare you attack the princess? Han Shan and Han Feng came out of the air with the Ghost King's people, and the cold momentum made them feel cold. Han Shan and Han Feng. The Qi clan's patriarch naturally knew the two people beside the Ghost King. When he saw these two people, he knew that the Ghost King already knew everything. Two lords, why are you here? The people of the ninth clan were still holding on to the hope that they were just passing by. This way they could say something nice and let them pretend that they didn't see them. If they had been following Sima Yue, then the result, Han Feng snorted coldly, we are ordered by the king to protect the little princess's safety. I originally thought that we wouldn't have the chance to appear, but I didn't expect you to be so bold. Lords, they wanted to quibble, but how could they say it? Han Feng and Han Shan had seen it with their own eyes and heard it with their own ears, so they couldn't say anything. Han Shan and Han Feng didn't say much to them, and said to the guards behind them, the fourth and fifth clans intended to hurt the little princess, according to the king's orders, kill them without mercy. The three words kill without mercy fell into everyone's ears and knocked into their hearts. The Ghost King really treasured this granddaughter. Last time in Yangqing, he ordered people to destroy the clans involved at that time, which set off a reign of terror. Now in the face of the Qi clan and the ninth clan, he still didn't want to give them half a face, and he still killed the fourth and fifth clans who relied on them. Two lords. The head of the ninth clan shouted, the fourth and fifth clans have been at the queen's beck and call all these years. Today they had no choice but to attack the little princess. I hope you can spare them for the sake of the queen's face. The queen's people? Han Shan's voice dragged out. When everyone thought there was hope, he glanced at them indifferently and snorted, what does that have to do with the king? The order we received was issued by the king. No matter who it is, as long as they dare to touch the little princess, they will be killed without mercy. What are you still doing? Are you deaf? The reprimand was directed at the guards behind. They understood Han Shan's meaning and didn't dare to delay, all of them attacking the fourth and fifth clans. Although the fourth and fifth clans were also big clans, otherwise they wouldn't have been able to enter the eyes of the Anaheim. But in front of the guards personally selected by the Ghost King, they were not enough to look at. Soon those people were all destroyed. Sima Yue touched her nose. These people given to her by the Ghost King were really powerful. Sima Yue replied, however, the further I go, the slower the speed of cultivation. It will take a long time to break through the underworld venerable and enter the next level. This period of time could be a few years, or it could be decades, or even hundreds of years. If she couldn't break through the underworld venerable, the Ghost King couldn't tell her the whereabouts of the four directions divine seal. Calculating the time it would take, her heart was heavy. Wu Lingyu looked at her from the side, his thin lips pursed. If Sima Yue looked at him now, she would know that he had something on his mind. Sima Yue sighed in her heart for a while, then looked up and asked Wu Lingyu, Lingyu, have your people in the ghost realm found any news? Have they found the whereabouts of the four cardinal divine seal? Wu Lingyu's expression had returned to normal. Sima Yue didn't realize that he was distracted just now. No. Wu Lingyu said, it seems that the owner of the four cardinal divine seal cherishes it very much. There is no news about it. If that's the case, then we can only wait until we break through to find grandfather. Sima Yue sighed, if your people have any news, remember to tell me. I will. Wu Lingyu thought of what he heard before and felt sorry for her. Chapter 1926. 1 second to remember, love divided by you? Read book web, update quickly, no pop-up window, free to read. Her request was only to let him tell her the news that the Devil Clan had found, but she did not let him tell her the news he had heard. Therefore, someone took advantage of the loophole in the language. Thinking of someone's expression at that time, he gnashed his teeth in hatred. That day, after he told Mou about the change of plan, Mou also told him about the Four Sides Divine Seal. I'm under too much pressure to bear this matter alone. I want to find someone to share the pressure with. Mou smiled very annoyingly. He snorted coldly. This was not because of too much pressure, but because he was afraid that Yue would get angry after knowing the truth, so he wanted to find someone to take the fall. Thinking that one side of the Four Sides Divine Seal was missing, he also had a headache. Even the Ghost King, Qinghun, Infernal Hell and Mou couldn't find any news. The whereabouts of the North Divine Seal was really uncertain. He only hoped that when she broke through to the Underworld Venerable, they could find the whereabouts of the North Divine Seal. However, this was what Mou told him, not what the Devil Clan found out, so it was not within the scope of her request. Even if she smelled it, he planned to say so. Sima Yue saw that Wu Lingyu was a little absent-minded and asked, Lingyu, what are you thinking about? Wu Lingyu restrained his mind, he could not let her find any clues at this time. He smiled and said, I'm just thinking now that the Mo clan's matter has been solved, what are you going to do next? Go back or do you want to go into seclusion here or what? Sima Yue thought for a while and said, I just came out of seclusion now, I need some experience. If I go into seclusion again, I'm afraid the effect won't be great. Wu Lingyu also thought of this, so he knew that she would not continue to go into seclusion. Anyway, the competition between the dynasties is over now, we don't have to rush back. Why don't we walk back slowly and see this great river and mountain? Maybe we can have some insights. If we encounter a good place, we can stop and enjoy the beautiful scenery. If there is a suitable place for cultivation, it's the same there. Sima Yue thought that she had never enjoyed life so leisurely, and suddenly had some expectations for such a day. Since you think so, then let's do as you wish. Wu Lingyu did not object at all. Anyway, he came to the ghost realm to accompany her. She could do whatever she liked. Moreover, he also felt sorry for her. Ever since they met, she had never properly relaxed. Now that she had nothing to do other than cultivate, it was good for her to relax. Miss, when are we leaving? They have stayed in the Mo clan for a year and have already figured it out. When they heard that they were going to leave, they were naturally happy. There's no rush. We have to tell Mou and the others before we can leave. Sima Yue's thoughts were simple. She felt that it was enough to tell Mou. Anyway, the Mo clan was very busy now, so she didn't want to cause trouble. However, when she heard Mou's words, she opened her mouth wide in shock. Are you serious? The corners of her mouth twitched. She felt that she must be hallucinating. Of course it's true. Mou said, I'll travel with you. The Mo clan's matter is not completely over yet. Sima Yue didn't want to take such an eye-catching person with her. There are still so many things to do. It's not good for you to leave like this, right? I don't need to do those things. Mou snorted lightly, just leave it to them. Then why are you following me? Go and play by yourself. Sima Yue was not happy. With him, it would definitely be very troublesome. She couldn't go as she pleased. It's fun to follow you. Mou decided to follow her. Besides, didn't we get along very well before? Is it because of Wu Lingyu that you don't allow others to follow you? How can that be the same? Sima Yue glared at him. You don't know anyone in the human world. If I go out with you, no one will say anything. Now in the ghost realm, you are a big celebrity. The matters of the Mo clan and the other two clans are not over yet. You are in the limelight. If I take you with me, isn't that bringing trouble? It's useless for you to say this. Mou's words blocked Sima Yue's following words, but his following words also made Sima Yue change her mind. Aren't you interested in the Shenlong decree? You want to take me to find the Shenlong decree? Sima Yue's eyes lit up. I don't know where that child is, so how can I take you there? But if I meet him, at least I can recognize him. Sima Yue. Anyway, Mou finally followed her on the road. Before leaving, seeing the habitual look of the Mo clan, Sima Yue mourned for them in her heart. Encountering such an unreliable ancestor who wandered around outside all day, they were also drunk. Yue, I originally wanted to have a good chat with you after this matter is over, but I didn't expect you to leave so soon. Come to the Mo clan often to play in the future. Emoji's mother took Sima Yue's hand and said with a smile. Fortunately, she was there for Emoji's matter, otherwise the consequences would be unimaginable. Okay. Sima Yue agreed. Yue, the old ancestor will be with you, so you have to take care of him in the future. If there's anything wrong with him, you have to bear with it. Emosia said seriously, but Sima Yue couldn't help but want to laugh. Grandpa Mo, you're too serious. If there's nothing else, we'll go first. She felt that this mode of sending them off was a little strange. If she stayed any longer, she was afraid that she would laugh. Emoji sent them all the way to Mo City. Seeing his reluctant eyes, Mou still drove him back, saying that the clan was busy now and he, the young master, had to be there. Emoji cried, if you're really busy, why are you still leaving? Excuses. They're all excuses. Sima Yue and the others got on the huge flying beast, which was specially prepared for her by the Mo clan. There were 3 rooms on the back of the huge bird, where they could cultivate so that they could hurry on the road and not waste time cultivating. This is good. Sima Yue looked at the layout inside with satisfaction. It was simple but not simple. Of course it's good, this is my ride. Mou said, my little red bird is not only fast, but also very sensitive to treasures. If you pass by a good place, you can't escape its eyes. Sima Yue was slightly surprised, she didn't expect this big red bird to be so powerful. Where are we going now? Sima Yue looked straight ahead and said, let's go in this direction. Without Mou's words, the big red bird spread its wings and rushed into the sky. Sima Yue sat by the window and looked at the scenery whistling by below in a very good mood. I don't know where that little boy went. Mou looked at her and sighed. Sima Yue frowned. Are you hiding something from me? Chapter 1927. In 1 second she remembered, love divided by you? Read book Webno pop-up window free to read. Seeing her narrowed eyes, Mou smiled. You're thinking too much, why would I hide anything from you? Every time you feel guilty, the left corner of your mouth will be a little higher than the right corner. Sima Yue said. Seeing that he wanted to deny it, she said, this is what Emoji told me. Emoji that brat, when he goes back, let's see how he will deal with him. Tell me if you hide it from me, I will throw you out of here. Sima Yue snorted coldly. At this time she didn't remember that this flying beast belonged to Mou. Actually it's nothing. Mou smiled, it's just that when I was talking to that boy, he once asked me about something. It's related to Yue? Wu Lingyu asked with certainty. Me? How could it be related to me? Sima Yue was surprised for a moment, but then she understood. If it wasn't related to her, Mou wouldn't have followed them. What did that little kid say? He said that he was looking for someone who was often struck by lightning. Mou said, at that time I didn't think of you, but now that I think about it, the one who was struck by lightning was you. At that time the incident in Yang City had not happened yet, and he did not think of Sima Yue. But after the incident in Yang City, everyone knew that she was the one who was often struck by lightning, and the person that the little boy was looking for was most likely her. I was wondering why you insisted on coming with me, so this was your idea. You want the Dragon God Order? Sima Yue asked him. I don't want it, but I want to see that thing and settle some accounts with that little guy. Mou's expression was a little strange when he mentioned the little boy. Sima Yue stared at him for a while, then suddenly laughed, pointed at him and said, Mou, you are an old man who has lived for thousands of years, but you were actually tricked by a little kid. Haha, what's so funny? He looks like a little baby. Who knows how old he is? Mou did not deny it, but his expression was definitely not good. It was all because of the child's appearance that he had been deceived. If he had known that he wasn't a child, he wouldn't have been deceived. When he caught that guy, he would definitely teach him a lesson. Sima Yue couldn't be bothered to know what he was up to. Now that she knew why he was following her, she was no longer bothered. Follow me if you want, but I'll say this first. I won't change my plan because of you. No need, I'll just walk around with them. That guy should come knocking on our door. Mou said. His target was Sima Yue and he should have known about what happened in Yangcheng. Therefore they would definitely come looking for him. As long as he stayed by Sima Yue's side, he would be able to wait for her. However, with that little girl's muddle-headed personality, it would be a little difficult to find her. The red bird flew for a month before they flew out of the Mo clan's sphere of influence. When they arrived here, Mou was not so familiar with it. They found a place with beautiful mountains and clear water to rest. The red bird would find a place to land and chose a flat land next to a waterfall. This place is really good. Why don't we catch some fish and make grilled fish? Sima Yue said. As soon as he heard that she wanted to get something to eat, the black shadow was very active and immediately said, then I'll go catch some fish. Don't kill them with your spiritual power, or the meat of the fish won't be good. Just catch them like that. Sima Yue said. Okay miss, just wait. The black shadow replied. However, his thinking was too simple. Without using his spiritual power, those fish were very slippery and ran away before he could touch them. After catching for half an hour, he only caught 2 small fish, which was not enough to eat at all. Don't just watch, come down and catch them together. The black shadow shouted at the 3 men on the shore. I see that you're so active, there's no need for us. Huan leaned against the big tree and had no intention of going down to help. As for the other 2 people, they had no intention of helping. Sima Yue was almost done with the preparation work. When she saw the 2 pitiful fish in the bucket, she said to the 3 people on the shore, you guys should hurry up and help. If anyone doesn't go, there won't be any grilled fish to eat later. I have to go too? Mou looked at the river reluctantly and didn't move. He was the ancestor of the Mo clan and had never done such a thing. Now she wanted him to go into the river to catch fish? You don't have to go. Sima Yue's words made him feel relieved, but before he could say anything he heard her say again, you won't eat later. A threat, a naked threat. In a while they would all be eating and he would be the only one watching. How uncomfortable would that be? Okay. He compromised, took off his shoes and went into the water. Juan followed. Wu Lingyu didn't go into the water. Instead, she stood by the water and watched the three of them catch fish. Lingyu, why don't you come down? Don't think that just because Miss is good to you, you can disobey the rules. You won't be able to eat the grilled fish later. Black Shadow snorted. Wu Lingyu smiled and didn't argue. She just watched the three of them struggle to catch fish. After a while, they didn't catch many fish and they couldn't help but feel a little depressed. At this moment, the sound of something falling into the water attracted their attention. They looked up and saw the fishing net in Wu Lingyu's hand. As a result, the faces of the three people darkened. This guy clearly had a plan in his heart, but he didn't tell them and just watched them embarrass themselves in the water. It was really hateful. The three of them looked at each other and without saying a word, they went ashore together and attacked Wu Lingyu. They didn't really fight a duel, so Sima Yue didn't care about them. She saw a few fish in the bucket and a net of fish that had just been thrown to the shore and hadn't been taken out yet. She shook her head, squatted by the river and began to clean the fish. After all of them were cut open and cleaned, she put them on the rack and began to grill them. The four people were attracted by the smell of grilled fish. Black Shadow was the most sensitive to food, so he was the fastest to run. Sima Yue looked at his greedy face and smiled. Why aren't you continuing? There's food. Of course, food is more important. Black Shadow saw that Sima Yue had barbecued a few fish beside her, and very consciously went to take a portion and started eating. Sima Yue didn't stop him. After all, the fish was for them to eat. Wu Lingyu was the last to come back. Although he was chased by the three people, he wasn't hurt at all. Even his clothes were not messed up. He looked like he was fine. Other than his own agility, the three people also didn't use their full strength. Black Shadow carried the grilled fish to the side and saw some walnut shells on the ground. He wanted to step on them and crush them to prevent them from hurting his foot. Unexpectedly, he didn't crush the walnut shells, but his foot hurt. What kind of walnut shells are these? Why are they so hard? When he shouted, everyone noticed the pile of walnut shells behind the tree. Chapter 1928. 1 second to remember. Love divided by you? Read book web. Update fast, no pop-up window, free to read. Seeing the pile of walnut shells, Sima Yue smiled. It seems that there was a delicious person here before. Such a big pile, I don't know how long it will take to eat. Miss, this walnut shell is so hard I stepped on it but it didn't break. Black Shadow said. Is there such a hard walnut? Sima Yue walked over, picked up a walnut shell and squeezed it hard. It really didn't move, but her hand was hurt. Such a hard walnut, how did this person smash it? Even if a mountain was used to smash it, it might not be able to break it. He should have used some treasure. Juan said. This is not a walnut from the ghost realm. Mou walked over, took the walnut in Yue's hand and looked at it for a while. This was brought in from somewhere else. The human realm or the devil realm. Wu Lingyu also came over to take a look. This is not something from the devil realm, there is no devil chi on it. However, it seems to be different from the spirit chi of the human realm. Anything from any realm would have some spirit chi of that place, but the spirit chi on this walnut shell was very strange. It was not the spirit chi of the three realms. If it is not the spirit chi of the three realms, could it be from other places? Sima Yue looked at the walnut shell in her hand thoughtfully. Although she had never seen other worlds, she had already guessed it in her heart. However, this was the first time she saw something that did not belong to this world. It seems that a guy from the outside world who likes to eat walnuts came here and left this pile of things. Black Shadow said, I don't know where he came from, I really want to see him. Mou looked at those things and thought of the little boy. I think this may be that little guy's doing. He set out his guess. Yeah. Really? The Dragon God Order has always been a legendary thing, no one has seen it. Now that it suddenly appeared, it is very likely that he came from the outside world. Mou analyzed, and he most likely came for you. In this world, who doesn't know that you are the most attracted to thunder and lightning? Only an outsider would do that. Yeah. People from the outside world are looking for me? You think too much. Sima Yue did not think so. The world is so big, anything is possible. She didn't believe that a slightly different person would be related to her. Alright, eat your food. Don't think about it. She then returned to the grill and began to turn the grilled fish on the grill. When the others saw that she was not interested in it, they stopped staring at it and came back to watch her roast the fish. After resting here for a day, the red bird continued to lead them forward until they reached a swamp. Sima Yue saw the red bird hovering in the sky and asked Mou, "What's wrong?" Mou put down the teacup in his hand. The little red bird smelled the scent of the treasure. "Baby? Really?" Sima Yue's interest was piqued. She stood up from her seat and said, "Since there are treasures, let's go down and take a look." "Don't get excited too early." The little red bird only sensed that there are treasures in this area. It doesn't know where exactly it is. Mou poured cold water on her. Sima Yue did not mind and said with a smile, "It's good to have a range. Little red bird, find a place to stop." The little red bird nodded, lowered its altitude, and then chose a relatively dry place to stop. The group of people got off the back of the little red bird. Mou waved his hand and the little red bird disappeared. Sima Yue was very familiar with this scene. It seemed that Mou also had a place like the spirit pagoda that could store life. "Miss, someone has been here before. These footprints are still very new." As soon as Huan came down, he looked around and soon found the footprints around him. Judging from these footprints, there are quite a few people. Wu Lingyu glanced at the footprints and understood the situation. They should also be here for the treasure. Then we should be able to find clues by following these footprints. Sima Yue smiled happily. It was really good that someone was showing them the way. They followed the footprints and walked forward. Everyone used their spiritual power to make their bodies lighter. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu were the easiest. They directly turned back into their soul bodies. Is there really a treasure in this environment? The Black Shadow felt that this place was too ordinary. It did not look like there was a treasure at all. The most important thing was that there was not a single person in the swamp. If there was really a treasure, how could there be no one? If the little red bird says there is, then there is. Mou replied. Then call the little red bird out to show us the way. Sima Yue requested. I said before that the little red bird's senses only have a range of 100 miles. Mou said, if you want to find the treasure, you can only find it yourself. The footprints disappeared here. Wu Lingyu turned back and said to Sima Yue. Sima Yue stepped forward and looked. It really disappeared here. It probably went underground. Let's go down too. Okay. They used their spiritual power to cover themselves and then jumped into the swamp. The mud here was very soft. They immediately sank as soon as they jumped in. They sank for a long time. After sinking through the mud, they encountered the hard rocks below. There was a hole under those rocks. It looked very new. It should have been left by those people before. Let's go down the hole. Sima Yue went down the hole first. She originally thought that there would be hard rocks below. She did not expect that there would be an underground river below. Sima Yue did not pay attention and fell into the water. The few people who came down next also fell into the water. The few of them swam to the shore. Wu Lingyu shot out a flame, illuminating the underground river. Corpses. Not far from Sima Yue, a few corpses of underworld beasts floated on the water. It looks like it was done by those people. Sima Yue said, to be able to kill these underworld beasts without destroying the surrounding environment, it looks like those people are very strong. They shouldn't be weak. Huan went up to check the corpses of the underworld beasts and found that they were all killed in one move. These underworld beasts were very powerful, but they were killed without even having the chance to resist. Could be seen that these people were very strong. Let's continue to follow their traces. With someone leading the way, they did not have to bother looking for them. They walked all the way up the underground river for nearly half a day. Along the way they saw a lot of underworld beasts that had been killed, some of which were quite precious. Those people actually killed them directly, which made Sima Yue a little puzzled. These people seemed to be in a hurry. Boom! The sound of fighting came from the front. Sima Yue and Wu Lingyu looked at each other. Did they finally catch up? The fighting in front seems to be very fierce. Should we go up and take a look? Chapter 1929. In 1 second she remembered, Love Divided by You? Read book web quick update, no pop-up window, free to read. Do you want to take a look? The answer was yes. Since they were already here, of course they had to take a look. But what should they do? Watch the fire from the other side or get involved? Anyway, we can all hide our auras, let's get closer and take a look. Sima Yue said. They were all the strongest of the strong, so it was not a big deal for them to hide their auras. After she said that, everyone restrained their auras and walked towards the place of the battle. What surprised them was that the terrain behind them was all the way up, and finally they came out of the ground and came to a swamp in the mountains. On the top of the mountain, two people were fighting fiercely, and in the swamp at the foot of the mountain, two groups of people were also confronting each other. In the middle of the mud, there was a white flower blooming. The flower was the size of a bowl, and the petals looked fleshy, somewhat similar to Ganoderma lucidum, but it had 3 layers inside and outside, a bit like a lotus. A breeze blew, bringing with it a faint fragrance of flowers. 10,000-year-old Ganoderma lucidum. Sima Yue recognized the flower and said with some surprise, "I didn't expect to see such a treasure here." "Is this very precious?" the Black Shadow asked. "It's a holy healing medicine." Huan knew more about these things than the Black Shadow, and he just happened to know this Ganoderma lucidum. Although the Black Shadow did not know the specific effects, it was enough to show its preciousness since it could be used as a holy healing medicine. Ganoderma lucidum itself is not easy to survive, and it is very attractive to spirit beasts. It is often eaten by spirit beasts before it grows. So it is very difficult to see one that is more than 2,000 years old. I didn't expect to see one that is more than 10,000 years old here. It's really rare. Sima Yoyue's tone was full of joy, and it could be seen that she also liked this Ganoderma lucidum very much. There is a natural barrier here. Wu Lingyu looked up at the top of his head. It is this barrier that creates a good living environment for it. No wonder these people came from underground. It turned out that it was because they couldn't come from above. Boom, the power of the strong impact flattened a mountain, and the ground shook a little. After this move, the 2 people who were fighting each fell on a mountain. Among them, the younger man in white was more seriously injured, while the other man in black looked much more relaxed. "Wei Xing, you actually went back on your word." The white-clothed man clutched his chest. Fresh blood flowed out from his body and dyed his white clothes black. He looked extremely miserable. Wei Xing smiled sinisterly. "Did I promise you anything? Wei Xing, you said that you won't fight with us for snow fungus. What are you doing now?" A red-robed woman below cried out. "You have already received our family's reward, yet you still want to snatch the snow fungus. Aren't you afraid of being struck by lightning? Our deal is that I'll clear the obstacles on the road and you'll pay me. Did I not do it? Didn't I kill the underworld beasts along the way?" Wei Xing snorted coldly. "Didn't I do as we agreed? Now that we have found the snow fungus, our agreement has come to an end. Who will get the snow fungus in the end will depend on your own ability." "Wei Xing, you despicable villain, you wanted to use our information to find Xueji from the beginning, didn't you?" The woman in red cried. "That's why you agreed so easily. You clearly know that we are going to use the snow fungus to save our master. How can you do this?" "Oh, why can't I?" Wei Xing looked indifferently at them who were flustered and exasperated. "Anyway, you are going to die here today. For the sake of our previous friendship, I will let you know the truth. Before you came to me, the Zheng family had already come to me." "What did you say?" "Oh, I think you already understand. They gave me a reward and asked me to agree to your request. After the matter is done, the snow fungus will belong to me. In this way I can get both the treasure and double the reward." "You are shameless." "So what if I am shameless? If you have this strength, why do you need to find me? In this world, only the strong can make the rules." I'll tell you one more thing by the way. The Zheng family has already recalled the people outside and is ready to give you the final blow. In a few days there will be no Hua family in Western Arrival County." "What?" The Hua family was stunned. The Zheng family had not made any movements recently. How could they avoid their eyes and ears and summon the people outside? "You are lying. Impossible. You lied to us." The woman in red shouted and wanted to rush up, but was stopped by the people around her. "What do I have to lie to you? The Zheng family has promised us that as long as we annex your Hua family, they will give us 1/3 of the industry. My Wei family can do nothing, just not provide you with help, and we can share the benefits." "Wei Xing. The Wei family and the Hua family have always been in a relationship of mutual support. You betrayed the agreement left by your ancestors and betrayed us. The Zheng family can give you benefits now, and in the future they can also give benefits to others to deal with you." The man in white looked at Wei Xing with a resentful expression. "When the time comes, whether they deal with us or we eat them, you don't have to worry about the Hua family. Now we will send you on your way. Seeing that you are all my nephews and grandsons, I will let you go happily." Wei Xing waved his hand, and several clansmen below immediately attacked the woman in red and others. The man in white saw that his clansmen were being attacked, but he couldn't go down to save them. He was anxious, the blood in his body surged and he spat out another mouthful of blood. He wiped the blood from his lips and said, "No wonder you asked me who would come together before and said that there could be fewer people. I thought you were worried that more people would drag us down. It turned out that you just asked about our strength so that you could bring people with higher strength than us. Hua Yu, you are very smart and talented, but you should not live. When you really grow up, the Western Arrival County will be dominated by your Hua family. I can't keep a genius like you. Wei Xing said, condensing his spiritual power, ready to give him the last blow and solve this problem forever. Hua Yu knew his plan when he saw his moves, and he knew that he could not resist him. However, he did not wait for death directly, and also condensed all his spiritual power, ready to meet his moves. Go to hell. Wei Xing's attack directly broke his defense, and the light from the impact made everyone unable to open their eyes. Hua Yu. Hua Yu. The people who were fighting below stopped when they saw this scene. The people of the Hua clan called out his name in despair. Everyone knew that if Wei Xing used this move, he would definitely not be able to survive. They wanted to close their eyes and not see this scene, but their eyes did not listen to them. They opened their eyes wide and watched the light dissipate. Cough. The cough made everyone's nerves collapse. The light dissipated, and a white robe was still fluttering in the wind on the top of the mountain. Alive, still alive. Chapter 1930. 1 second to remember, love divided by you? Read book web quick update, no pop-up window, free to read. Everyone saw that Wei Xing's attack hit Hua Yu. With the power of his move, how could he still be alive? How is this possible? The Wei family members who followed Wei Xing looked at this scene in disbelief. Others didn't know Wei Xing's strength, but they knew. How could Hua Yu still be alive after his move? The moment Wei Xing saw Hua Yu, he only had one feeling: impossible. Only after a second glance did he realize that this was not done by Hua Yu at all, and someone helped him. Space lock. Oh. He looked at the Hua family members and saw the shock and joy on their faces. He knew that this was not done by them. They didn't have a formation master at all. He looked around again. There was no one around, but it didn't mean that there was no one. Furthermore, to be able to hide under his nose, that person's strength was definitely not lower than his. Hua Yu himself didn't understand how he survived. He was obviously desperate and ready to die. How could Sima Yue no longer hid and appeared in front of everyone? As soon as she appeared, the others also appeared. Who are you? Why did you help? The Wei family members shouted. The Hua family members looked at them gratefully, but there were also doubts in their eyes. They didn't know Yue and the others didn't know their identity and didn't know their purpose. Sima Yue looked at Wei Xing and said honestly, "What I hate the most are dirty people who betray me. For someone like you who is not pleasing to the eye, do you need any other reason to help? Who the hell are you?" Wei Xing looked at Sima Yue. She seemed to be the weakest, but from where she stood, she was the most important. "I'm not as kind as you to solve the doubts of a dying person. I like to see you die without knowing why." Sima Yue smiled brightly, but it made the Wei family members' hearts sink. The more mysterious the other party was, the more uneasy they felt. What were the origins of these people? "Black Shadow, can you handle it alone?" Sima Yue asked. "How many more people do we need? I alone am enough." After saying that, the Black Shadow turned into a black fog and surrounded the Wei family. No. The final screams of the Wei clan members were filled with terror and despair. They didn't know who these people were, but they knew that they were doomed today. The Black Shadow left, and the members of the Wei clan were all reduced to white bones. This move frightened the members of the Hua clan. Those who were more timid felt their legs go soft again. Wei Xing saw that his people were so easily dealt with, and the shadow was so mysterious. Without saying a word, he turned around and ran. "You want to run? Have you asked me?" The Black Shadow sneered and quickly caught up with him, wrapping him in its own black fog. Only a miserable scream was heard, and before the sound could fade away, only a pile of white bones was left. "It's done, Mississippi," the black figure returned to Sima Yue's side and said with a smile. The people of the Hua clan looked at the Black Shadow's harmless appearance. Where was the awe-inspiring aura from before? But it was such a person who dealt with the Wei clan in a few minutes. Sima Yue took 2 steps forward. The people of the Hua clan were so scared that they went soft, and looked at her vigilantly. Sima Yue ignored them and walked towards the snow fungus. The woman in red saw this and became anxious. She ran in front of the snow fungus and opened her hands to stop her. "This snow fungus was given to us first. You can't snatch it from us," Hua Yuan said. She had scared the Hua family members out of their wits. These people were obviously here for Shueji. Wasn't she courting death? Hua Yu flew down from the top of the mountain and pulled Hua Yuan to the side. He shouted, Yuan, don't make trouble. Uncle. This snow fungus is the only way to save the master. Without this, the master will die. Hua Yuan cried. Hua Yu ignored her words and pulled her behind him. He cupped his hands towards Sima Yu and said, "Thank you, young miss, for your life-saving grace. You can take this snow fungus away, but please spare my life." Sima Yu looked at the unwilling Hua Yuan behind Hua Yu. She saw the tears in her eyes that she stubbornly held back. She asked, "You didn't cry when your lives were hanging by a thread. Why are you crying now? Without your life you can't get the snow fungus. Even if I die, I've done my best. But watching the snow fungus being taken away by you and being unable to do anything, Hua Yuan said unwillingly. "I am your savior. Shouldn't you be willing to give this to me?" Sima Yu asked. "You saved our lives. We can repay you in other ways, but can you not snatch this from us? We can promise you anything else." Hua Yuan saw that Sima Yu did not immediately come forward to pick the snow fungus and looked at her with hope. Sima Yu tilted her head and thought for a while. She said, "It's not impossible, but I'm afraid you won't give me what I want." "What do you want?" Hua Yuan asked. "Half of your assets," Sima Yu said. The Hua family members fell silent when she said this. Sima Yu raised her eyebrows. "It seems that this is really difficult for you. Then I can only—" "That's not it either." Hua Yu said, "It's just that our situation is a little special. Even if you get half of our assets, it will be a lot of trouble. Why don't you make another request? Or wait until we settle this matter and settle down before we give it to you. If you don't believe us, we can make an oath." Sima Yu stared at the two of them and saw their honest eyes. She said, "Then forget it. I don't want a lot of trouble." Hua Yuan saw that she did not want it and became anxious. She stomped her feet and said, "You can make other requests. As long as we can do it, we will definitely agree to it. As long as you don't want the snow fungus. I know that you want to use the snow fungus to save people, but this snow fungus is very big. I can give you a part of it." Sima Yu said, "I won't give in for anything else." "Really? Thank you. We won't use it all. As long as you save the head of the family, we will give you the rest." Hua Yuan looked at her gratefully. "But we don't know how much we need. Can you come back with us?" Hua Yu asked. "You want us to block the Zheng family's attack for you?" Sima Yu's face darkened. "No. We will deal with the Zheng family. You don't have to come back with us. It's the same waiting outside. Once we cure the head of the family, we will definitely give you the snow fungus." Hua Yu explained, "Your people are very powerful and our family situation is not optimistic. We won't do anything to harm you. What do you think?" Chapter 1931. 1 Second to Remember, Love Divided by You? Reading book web quick update, no pop-up window, free to read. Hua Yu knew that he was going overboard. Since they wanted the snow fungus, it was already good enough to give them a portion. How could they be willing to let them use it first? But they really didn't know how much it would take to cure the patriarch. They had to go back to confirm. After waiting for a while, just when they thought that Sima Yu wouldn't agree, she nodded and said, "It just so happens that we have nothing to do recently. Let's go take a look." The Hua family originally didn't have any hope. They thought that they would die here today. They didn't expect that things would turn around. Not only were they saved, but they also agreed to give them the snow fungus. Hua Yu suffered a serious injury. He was originally using the last of his willpower to hold on. Now that he got her confirmation, the string that was pulled taut loosened and he fainted. Little uncle, Hua Yuan, supported him. The others also surrounded him and took out pills for him to eat. Sima Yu stood at the side. She didn't intend to help. But the Hua family was also rich. The effects of the pills were quite good. After a while, Hua Yu slowly woke up. "Little uncle, how are you?" Hua Yuan saw him open his eyes and asked nervously. "I'm fine. Quickly go and pick the snow fungus. We can go back early to treat the patriarch." Hua Yu's voice was weak, but his breathing was much more stable. Hua Yuan asked someone to support Hua Yu. She took out a jade box and a pair of jade scissors. She cut the flower of the snow fungus and put it in the jade box for Hua Yu to see. "Not bad. You cut it very well." Hua Yu's face showed a trace of a smile. "Then let's go back." "But your injury? It's no problem. Saving the patriarch is more important," Hua Yu said. He wanted to see Sima Yu's opinion, but found that she was taking the root of the snow fungus. Was she going to pluck the feathers from the goose? Not even leaving the root for others? The Hua family followed his gaze and saw Sima Yu whose hands were full of mud. She had already pulled the root out. Her face showed a gratified smile. He actually wanted to tell her that the root of the snow fungus was useless. But when he saw her directly put the root away, he swallowed the words. Since the other party had already given up the snow fungus to them, what else could they say? If she likes this root, then she can take it. But when she finds out later that it's useless, can she not be so disappointed? What they didn't know was that Sima Yue didn't keep it casually. Instead, she threw it to Little Spirit. Little Spirit said that if she planted it in the Spirit Pagoda, she would be able to grow snow fungus in the future. Huayu stood up and said to Sima Yue, "Let's go back now. Is there anything else?" "No. If you can walk, let's go," Sima Yue said. "Then let's hit the road." Huayu was the most senior here, and since he insisted on going back, the others naturally had no objections. "By the way, may I know my benefactor's name?" Sima Yue had already turned around and was about to leave. When she heard their question, she answered without turning back, "My name is Sima Yue. The others are my friends." "See Sima Yue? Isn't that?" The members of the Hua family were all stunned. They stood rooted to the ground and did not move. You are the little princess?" Hua Yuan trembled as she looked at her back. Thinking of how rude she was to her just now, she suddenly felt a little scared. "Let's go. I don't have that much time to wait for you." Sima Yue walked to Wu Lingyu and the others. Wu Lingyu naturally held her hand. "Can you break this barrier?" Sima Yue asked. "You don't want to go back the way you came?" Wu Lingyu saw her nod and condensed his spirit energy to hit the barrier, opening a gap. Sima Yue and the others flew up. When the Hua family saw this, they also flew out. After everyone came out, the enchantment automatically closed. "Do you have flying beasts?" Sima Yue asked Hua Yuan. Hua Yuan nodded, "Yes." Sima Yue turned her gaze to Mou and said with a smile, "Mou, call the little red bird out. It's more comfortable to sit on it. You have so many flying beasts, but you just have to think about my little red bird." Although Mou said this, he still called out the little red bird. When the Hua family heard Sima Yue call out Mou's name, they thought it was someone with the same name. But when they saw the flamboyant little red bird, they were sure that this person was the famous Lord Mou. With Sima Yue's identity in front of them, there was no need to doubt Mou's identity. But they did not expect that the person in the rumors would appear in front of them. Their little hearts almost could not accept it. Letting the Hua family people lead the way, the little red bird brought them slowly to the Western Arrival Prefecture's Western Arrival City. It was not that they were slow, but compared to the little red bird's previous speed, this was considered slow. When they reached the outskirts of Western Arrival City, Mou kept the little red bird away. Otherwise, it would attract a lot of trouble as soon as they entered the city. "Little Princess Lord Mou, let Yuan bring you to the largest inn in the city," Huayu said. "No need, let's go to your residence," Sima Yue said. "Then please follow me." In the past few days on the road, Huayu's injuries had mostly healed. He looked about the same as usual, but they did not know that he had walked through the gates of hell. Sima Yue and the others followed them to the Hua residence. Their location was in the center of the city, indicating that they still had a high status in Western Arrival City. "Huayu Yuan, you're finally back. Have you found the snow fungus?" A man wearing a blue robe who looked very similar to Huayu happened to meet them at the gate and asked anxiously. "We found the snow fungus, but something happened in the middle." Huayu replied, "Big brother, how is the patriarch?" "He's dying. Since the snow fungus has been found, then quickly send it to them." Hua Xing looked worried, afraid that the situation was not very optimistic. "Yuan, you send the snow fungus to the Lord," Huayu said. "Yes, little uncle. I'll go too," Sima Yue requested. A large part of the snow fungus was hers. If people who didn't know it used it indiscriminately, it would not be good. Huayu didn't know what she was thinking, but because of her identity, he let Hua Yuan take her. Hua Xing looked at their backs and asked, "Huayu, who are these people?" "Big brother, that's the little princess and Lord Mou." "What did you say?" Hua Xing was surprised by the news. How did the little princess and Lord Mou come to the clan? A lot of things happened this time. "If it weren't for the little princess, we would have been killed by Wei Xing," Huayu said. "In addition, I have something to tell you about the Wei clan and the Zheng clan." "Then let's call the elders. When you were away, something happened in the clan, so we can talk about it together." When Sima Yue saw the patriarch of the Hua clan, she could not help but frown. His appearance seemed a little strange. She glanced at Mou, who also had the same doubts. Chapter 1932. Lu Yin liked her attitude. She wasn't proud, she wasn't satisfied, and she wanted to learn more. As a genius youth, it was rare for her to have such an attitude. There weren't many youths nowadays who could think like that. From today onwards, I will teach you sound attacks. When he said that, he really treated her as his disciple. I can teach you the techniques, but if you want to learn them well, you can only do it through practice. I understand, Master. Sima Yue replied. Then let's start from today. I hope that you can be worthy of the bone flute soon. In the following days, Sima Yue spent most of her time learning and practicing. She would occasionally listen to them talk about the outside world. When Wu Lingyu came over, he would discuss formations with her. When she was alone, she would also go to the spirit pagoda to practice other things so that she wouldn't be rusty. Half a year passed peacefully. Including the days before that, she had already spent a year here. Every time she practiced her sound attacks, she would set up a barrier so no one outside knew how her sound attacks were progressing. However, from Lu Yan's satisfied expression, Sima Yue's improvement must be huge. Recently she became famous again. It wasn't something she did, but it was related to her. Everyone's attention was on her again. Qing Kai tortured and killed a female disciple of the alchemy sect. Someone happened to see him preparing to destroy the corpse. Originally, it wasn't a big deal for someone to die in the secret sect. However, the girl he killed was the grand disciple of one of the secret sect's elders. He had personally brought her back. Moreover, it was said that the girl was tortured to death by him. In the end, her face was too horrible to look at. This made everyone in the alchemy sect furious. Qing Kai had a background. His grandfather was an elder and the dead girl's grandmaster was also an elder. Their backgrounds were on par. Therefore, the people from the two sects started to argue. Originally, this had nothing to do with Sima Yue. However, later on, they found out that the reason Qing Kai tortured and killed the girl was because Sima Yue had poisoned him with impotence. He was impotent now, so he did this inhumane thing. Sima Yue's poison was studied by the entire poison sect for half a year without any results. This shocked the entire secret sect. What was the poison sect? It could be said that all the poisons in the world had been taken down by them, but now they were helpless against a mere impotence poison. Someone went to ask Sima Yue why her poison was so powerful. Sima Yue laughed and said, "It's not that my poison is powerful, it's just that they couldn't think of the catalyst. Actually, everyone has this guiding drug." Her words reached the poison sect, but no matter how hard they racked their brains, they could not figure out what she was talking about. Everyone looked at each other. They just couldn't figure out what she meant by, "everyone has." Sima Yue felt that her reminder was obvious enough, but those people still didn't think about it. Even Lu Yen was curious and took the opportunity to ask her during the lecture. When he heard the answer, he was embarrassed and regretted asking her that question. "How did you think of using this kind of thing?" His words were full of disdain. Hee. Sima Yue smirked. "This kind of person can't be killed, that's why I use this method. But if I don't teach him a lesson, I won't be able to vent my anger." You're pretty bad too." Lu Yen felt a little disgusted when he thought of her method, so he changed the topic. "We'll stop here today. Go back and practice well." "Yes, master." Sima Yue left, but Lu Yen still felt a little disgusted. He played the zither for a while before he calmed down. He stopped and laughed helplessly. What a bad girl. More than a month later, the poison sect still couldn't think of an antidote. The entire sect was in a bad mood. They wanted to ask Sima Yue but felt that they couldn't bring themselves to do so. Moreover, she didn't leave the sound sect. Even if she wanted to do something, she wouldn't dare to openly visit them. The Beast Tamer sect and the Alchemy sect fought fiercely. The poison sect's people were scratching their heads all day long. Although the sound sect's people didn't know what Sima Yue was talking about, they were happy to see them in distress. They used to look down on them. Now they were slapped in the face by their young martial uncle and young martial granduncle. Thinking of their constipated faces, they felt great. Moreover, their young martial uncle and young martial granduncle were such powerful poison masters. They felt proud when they went out. This state was finally broken when a certain elder personally came to the sound sect. Sima Yue followed the servant to the sound sect's meeting hall. Lu Yin, Mo Wei, and Jing Fu were inside talking to two people. Qingshi was talking to another woman inside. "Master, Vice Sect Leader, Martial Uncle. Yue, this is the main sect's 5th elder Qingqing, 6th elder Helan, Beast Tamer sect's Vice Sect Leader, and Poison sect's O Yuling." Lu Yin introduced them to her. She bowed one by one and then stood in place without saying a word. She didn't need to think to know the purpose of these people. They couldn't take it anymore and came to ask her for the antidote. However, she wouldn't take the initiative to ask. Yue, I called you here because of this. Previously you poisoned Qingkai. Their poison sect hasn't developed an antidote for half a year. So today they want to ask you to tell them the antidote. Qingkai is Elder Qingqing's grandson. Since he personally asked, you should give them the antidote. Lu Yan said. Sima Yue was very satisfied with Lu Yan's request. Especially when she saw that most of the people present had changed their expressions but didn't dare to do anything. She was very happy. Elder Qingqing, Vice Sect Leader Qingqing. Actually, if it wasn't for the fact that I had to protect myself, I wouldn't have wanted to poison him. After all, he's your only son for more than 10 generations. Sima Yue said, as a woman, when faced with this kind of situation, she would be frightened. This matter is indeed Qingsai's fault. However, you've poisoned him for so long. You should have calmed down by now. Qingqing said, now please tell us the antidote. Actually, there are many kinds of antidotes. I think it shouldn't be difficult for the poison sect's elders. Sima Yue said. We've thought of 2 kinds of antidotes. However, they didn't have much effect. He didn't even wake up for a few breaths after eating them. He would return to his original state. We've thought for a long time about the antidote that you mentioned, but we still couldn't figure out what it was. Can you tell us? Oh, Yuling wasn't embarrassed about her failure and asked her openly. Didn't I say that it's something that everyone has? Sima Yue said, I've already said it so clearly. How can you not guess it? What is it that everyone has? We've tried hair, nails, etc., but nothing worked. So you should just tell us directly. Chapter 1933. 1 second to remember. Love divided by you? Read book web. Update fast, no pop-up window, free to read. Shut up. Before the 7th elder could finish his words, he was scolded by the patriarch. Patriarch. The patriarch's tone was much harsher than before. The 7th elder was shocked and didn't know why he suddenly became so angry. It's our honor that the little princess can live in our house. How can we have ideas about the little princess? The great elder said earnestly. But the 7th elder was reprimanded and felt very wronged. The Hua family was now facing a great enemy. Especially when they heard the news brought back by Hua Yu, they felt that the situation was serious. Since the little princess lived in their house, it meant that they were not unintentional. As long as they could get her help, the crisis of the Hua family would no longer be a crisis. 7th elder, don't mention this again. The patriarch said sternly, if I hear this again, you don't need to be the 7th elder anymore. Patriarch. Everyone looked at the patriarch of the Hua family in surprise, as if they didn't believe that he would say such a thing. The little princess is the king's most beloved princess, but what qualifications do we have to ask her to help us? Moreover, I heard that this little princess has a strange personality. If we ask her to help us, what if we cause her to be disgusted? As long as she sneezes, our Hua family will disappear forever. The patriarch of the Hua family explained. Moreover, the little princess saved Hua Yu and the others and gave us the snow fungus. They are our benefactors. We already feel very guilty that we didn't repay them. How can we have other thoughts? The people in the room were silent. Some people even showed an ashamed expression. It seemed that they also had such thoughts. The patriarch of the Hua family saw that everyone had listened to his words and no longer talked about it. He said, well, this matter will stop here. Let's talk about the situation of the Zheng family these days. When it came to business, everyone restrained their thoughts and no longer thought about what had just happened. Patriarch, Wei Xing said that the Zheng family has been gathering people from outside, but we haven't received any news. Hua Yu frowned. If that's the case, I'm afraid that the Zheng family is preparing to give us the final blow. Now that the patriarch is well, it won't be so easy for the Zheng family to deal with us. That's right. They thought that the patriarch would definitely die this time, so they wanted to fight with their backs against the wall, taking advantage of this opportunity to completely eliminate us. However, the clan head is about to recover, and the Zheng clan is no longer a threat. I'm afraid things aren't that optimistic. Hua Yu said worriedly, the Wei family seems to be on good terms with us on the surface, but in reality, they're in cahoots with the Zheng family. Wei Xing thought that we would definitely die, so what he said should be true. He has no reason to lie to us. I also think that since Wei Xing did such a thing, it means that Wei clan has already made its position clear. Now that Wei Xing has not returned, and the patriarch's injuries have healed, The Wei clan will naturally guess that we already know their purpose. If the two of them join forces, it will be very troublesome for us to deal with them. I don't think House Wei will directly fall out with us for the time being. As long as we don't make this matter clear, House Wei will continue to put on an act for a while. We can take advantage of this time to deal with the Zheng family. That's a good idea. We've been blocking the news of your return and the Patriarch's recovery. We'll use this to paralyze House Wei first and pretend that we don't know. Then Hua Yuan and I will go to House Wei in a while to ask for forgiveness. We asked Wei Xing to go with us to look for medicinal herbs, but he was unfortunately killed. Although we paid House Wei a reward and said that we don't care if he's alive or dead, we're deeply sorry that they lost a master. Hua Yu said. But both of you are fine if you go like this? Hua Yuan's strength is low and she was far away so she was not injured. I'll just get some more injuries on my body. It can't be too light or they won't believe it. But then you, I'm fine. This kind of thing can't be faked or we can't hide it from House Wei. Hua Yu said. You're going to suffer. For the sake of the family, it's okay for me to be injured. However, we have to deal with the Zheng family during this time. Hua Yu said. That's natural. Sima Yue listened to the conversation over there with a faint smile on her face. What's so funny about it? Sima Yue recounted their conversation. It seems that this Hua family is still relatively upright. It's just that they think too simply. Mou took a sip of tea and said lightly. From the news that Qi Feng had received in the past few days, the Zheng family was not just what everyone saw. If they really wanted to fight like this, I'm afraid that they really wouldn't be able to win. If I had known this would happen, I wouldn't have treated Hua Yu's injury. It would have been better to carry him directly to House Wei. Black Shadow didn't understand Hua Yu's idea of hurting himself. I think this person is good. Huan had a good opinion of Hua Yu and felt that he was quite responsible. Anyway, we don't have to do anything. Let's see what will happen later. Sima Yue said, however, we still have to tell the Hua family about the Soul Clan. Otherwise we won't even know if we're destroyed. That afternoon, Hua Yu and Hua Yuan went to House Wei with the help of the Hua family's great elder and several clansmen. When they saw House Wei, Hua Yu and Hua Yuan cried. Uncle Wei Wei Xing he. Hua Yu choked and knelt in front of House Wei, tears streaming down his face. We already know about Wei Xing. What the hell is going on? Wei family's patriarch went forward to help him up. When he grabbed his hand, he took the opportunity to check his injuries. His pulse was messy and his blood was empty. It seemed that he was really seriously injured. Grandpa Wei, Uncle Wei, he did it for us. Hua Yuan cried sadly. What happened that day? We found snow fungus, but we encountered a very powerful guardian beast. Uncle Wei was torn in half and eaten when he was fighting with it. Little Uncle was also seriously injured in the battle. If we hadn't escaped quickly, I'm afraid that he would have. Hua Yuan wiped her tears. After we escaped, we rested for several days before little uncle could barely support himself and come back. Is that really the case? Yes. Hua Yuan nodded. I'm sorry, Grandpa Wei. If it weren't for us, Wei Xing wouldn't have died. And it took me so many days to tell you what happened. I'm really sorry. Did he say anything before he died? No, he left too quickly and didn't have time to say anything. When House Wei heard this, he was secretly relieved. Chapter 1934. 1 second to remember. Love divided by you? Read book web. Update fast, no pop-up window, free to read. Although the change in Wei clan's expression was very small, the Hua clan's people were paying attention to him and naturally found his relaxed expression. Wei Xing's matter can't be blamed on you. It's all his own choice. Wei clan's head said sadly, since he accepted your reward, he is naturally responsible for your safety. So you don't have to blame yourself. Even so, we still feel very apologetic for causing the Wei clan to lose a powerhouse. The first elder said, that's why we've brought some gifts to apologize. Great elder, you are too polite. I know that your young master has been looking for a spirit breakthrough pill recently. It just so happens that we got one before. When Wei clan's head heard the 3 words spirit breakthrough pill, his eyes turned green and he said excitedly, is it really a spirit breakthrough pill? The great elder took out a box and handed it to Wei clan's head. Wei clan's head opened the box and saw the black pill lying inside. He pretended to refuse. It's really a spirit breakthrough pill. How can I accept it like this? Wei clan's head, you need this more than us now. Don't refuse. The great elder said. In that case I won't refuse. My Lin is indeed at a critical juncture now. With this spirit breakthrough pill, I will personally come to thank you after advancing. Wei clan's head put away the pill and said gratefully. Wei Xing, who didn't support him much in the clan, died in exchange for a spirit breakthrough pill for his grandson. This Wei Xing's death was worth it. His thoughts turned around, but he didn't show it on his face, which made people look even sadder for Wei Xing. Thinking of other things in his heart, he asked, Wei Xing is dead, then have you found snow fungus? Speaking of this, the great elder's eyes turned red. Why, old Hua He, the clan head situation is already very bad. Even if we send people now, I'm afraid they won't be able to hold on until they come back. The great elder's tone was sad and desperate. Wei clan's head, I hope you can keep this secret for us. If the Zheng clan knows, I'm afraid. I understand. Wei clan head said sadly, I didn't expect him to be so serious this time. Alas, our two families have been friends for generations. If you have any needs, you can come to us. If there's anything we can help with, we will definitely not refuse. The first elder's eyes lit up as if he had been waiting for these words. He bowed to Patriarch Wei and said, with Patriarch Wei's words, we are much more relieved. If we need help in the future, I hope that the Wei clan can help us through this difficult time. Everyone present understood that this obstacle was the Zheng family. All right, just send someone to inform us when the time comes. Patriarch Wei promised. Many thanks, Patriarch Wei. The great elder and the Hua clan members bowed before leaving the Wei clan. After they left, the young master of the Wei clan, Wei Lin, walked in. Grandpa, are we really going to extend a helping hand to the Hua clan? Wei Lin asked. How is this possible? Patriarch Wei sneered. The Hua family is already an arrow at the end of its flight. It is impossible for them to survive this battle. Moreover, the Zheng clan has already promised us that as long as we don't interfere, they will give us 1/3 of the Hua clan's assets. Then why did you promise them? Not only did they kill Wei Xing, but now they even have the face to ask us for help. Their skin was a little too thick. Why didn't that Hua Yu die outside? Wei Lin said bitterly. He hated Wei Lin since he was a child. This guy was obviously younger than him, but his talent was much higher than his. Now his strength had far surpassed him. The people of Western Arrival County liked to compare the two of them, which made him hate Hua Yu even more. He didn't expect that this time Wei Xing would die, but he would come back with his life. How good would it be if he died outside? Patriarch Wei smiled. I told them to send someone to inform us if something happened. With the arrogance of the Hua clan, they won't send someone to ask for help until the last moment. Since it was already the last moment, who can guarantee that the person who came to inform will come to the Wei clan smoothly? As long as they don't come to our house and we don't see them, naturally we don't have to do anything. This is not a violation of my promise just now. Grandpa is wise. Wei Lin smiled happily when he heard that they wouldn't really help the Hua clan. Lin, look at this. Patriarch Wei took out the spirit breakthrough pill and handed it to Wei Lin. Wei Lin opened it and saw the pill inside. He was so excited that he almost jumped up. Grandpa, is this really the spirit breakthrough pill? Of course, I have personally tested it. Patriarch Wei said, you have been on the verge of advancement for too long. As long as you take this pill, you will definitely be able to break through. Good. I will go into seclusion now. Wei Lin took the pill and didn't want to wait for a moment. He bowed to Patriarch Wei and left in a hurry. With this pill, he would definitely be able to advance successfully this time. Hua Yu was helped into the Hua manor. His weak appearance changed. Although his face was still not good, he was not so weak that he needed someone to support him. Hua Yuan was beside him and said with a smile, Little princess, this pill is really effective. You are only slightly injured, but it looks like it is real. Yes. Hua Yu touched his chest. If I didn't understand my own situation, I am afraid that when I checked myself, I would think that I was about to die. After they had discussed in the morning, Hua Yu was about to get someone to seriously injure himself. At this time, Sima Yue asked a maid to send over a pill, saying that it could make him look like he was seriously injured. Although he didn't know what method Sima Yue used, he believed in her and took the pill without hesitation. He didn't expect the effect to be so good. Little princess is so good to us. We haven't thanked her for what happened last time and she helped us again. Hua Yuan said gratefully. Yes. Meeting the little princess is probably our greatest fortune. Hua Yu sighed. If it wasn't for Sima Yue, they wouldn't have been able to come back and get snow fungus. They wouldn't have been able to save the patriarch, and they wouldn't have known that the Wei clan and the Zheng clan were in cahoots. It was all because of her that they were in such a good situation. They even held the initiative in this matter. At this time, a maid came over and said, "Great elder, young master, little miss, little princess said that she is going to see the patriarch. She asked you to go with her." Sima Yue went to see the patriarch? The three of them were a little surprised. After asking for the location, they hurried over. Hua Su greets little princess, Lord Mou. The patriarch of the Hua clan bowed to the two of them. No need. Mou brought Sima Yue to a seat and sat down. Hua Yu and the others hurried over. Little princess, Lord Mou. It seems that you have done well today. Sima Yue smiled. This is all thanks to little princess's pill. Hua Yu said gratefully. I came today because I have some news to tell you. That you're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Chronicles YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.